gonna go off the shelves. Then, by the way,
And Spurs.
they are gonna go off the shelves. Who made that?
I did.
You're out of order.
Well, I had 10 minutes spare. I thought, what can I do?
talkSPORT Sports Update with Trusted Trader. Find top-notch tradespeople in your area, all who pass the Trusted Trader 15-point assessment.
talkSPORT.
A very good afternoon. You're listening to talkSPORT. Here with your sports headlines, I'm Amelia Beltrao. With a growing expectation, Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City at the end of the season. talkSPORT understands Enzo Maresca is the front-runner to replace him and has already had high-level talks at the club. Speaking ahead of Man City's FA Cup semi-final clash with Southampton, Guardiola's not getting sentimental on his title achievements just yet.
No, living day by day. No, it's not. Records are numbers. It's how fun we have been, or we are, and will be. No, it's what happened, and now we have opportunity to play semi-final Wembley again, and try in a few weeks reach the final.
Chelsea interim head coach Callum McFarlane says he's gutted that it hasn't worked out for Liam Rosenior following his sacking. But he's not dwelling on it, adding they're fully focused on Sunday's FA Cup semi-final clash with Leeds.
Yeah, it's not my place to say what's gone wrong or what's gone wrong or what's gone right. My full focus is on Leeds. We've got a massive game on Sunday, so all I am thinking about is Leeds as a team, weaknesses, strengths, our strengths, our weaknesses, and how we're going to prepare for that game.
Don't forget, both of those clashes are live on talkSPORT. Now, when it comes to the title race, Mikel Arteta says you have to put everything into it, adding those 5 games start tomorrow. His side hosts Newcastle tomorrow. Arteta's given this update on Saka, Calafiori and Timber.
Bukayo probably is going to be in the squad, so good news. Yeah. Probably in the squad as well. Jury not in the squad.
Benfica's Gianluca Bresciani has been given a 6-match ban by UEFA for discriminatory conduct towards Vinicius Jr. The Argentina international was accused of racially abusing the Real Madrid forward in February's Champions League tie. And Millwall have received an apology after the club's badge appeared in a children's booklet used to illustrate racism in football, showing on the clothing of a figure in KKK-style robes. The material has been withdrawn from schools.
talkSPORT News.
A Falkland Warns veteran has accused Donald Trump of acting like a schoolyard bully over reported threats to the islands. And assisted dying will not become law in England and Wales. More with Emma at past.
talkSPORT weather with QuickFit. The tyre transfer window is hotting up and we've signed a multi-generational talent with Continental Tyres. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
It's another bright sunny day, slightly warmer than yesterday and less windy, staying warm and settled into the weekend.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Drive on talkSPORT. It's me, Andy Goldstein. But no Darren Bent. No one.
Delicious radio.
No one. There's an empty chair next to me. Oh, I had paddle this afternoon. I'll be there on time, yeah? You're not, you liar. By jing over, I got a show for you today. A huge weekend for the relegation picture with both Spurs and West Ham playing at 3 o'clock tomorrow. We're asking if a team that's battled relegation for the last 2 seasons can be considered part of the Big Six in the Premier League anymore. Good question. And of course it's FA Cup weekend. Callum McFarlane has been speaking for the first time since taking over as interim, brackets, again. And we're building up to what has turned into a massive game for Regis Labeers. They host Nottingham Forest tonight. It's a game, of course, you can hear live on talkSPORT. All that, plus we want your calls on the longest you've ever done something for. It says in brackets, keep it clean. They'll keep it clean. They're good, this audience. The longest you've ever done something for. That is, of course, ahead of the London Marathon this Sunday. Yeah, I know you know. I know that. This is Drive. This is talkSPORT. You can get involved. 03717 223344. So, happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Andy. Yeah, thanks, Andy. I love your show. Yeah, I love your show as well. Your hair looks good. In fact, I mean, this is what's going to happen now until Bentley's turn up. Is it? Yeah, it is. It doesn't matter. We don't need him. I've been saying that for a long time. I could take his wages. Yeah, he gets about £5 a show. What? Does it? I mean, I probably could do that. Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. So Benty was playing in a paddle competition just round the corner, and I'm quoting management there, just round the corner. He'll be here at 4 o'clock. And his last game was at 3 o'clock, and because it's round the corner, he could hop on a train and be here in 15 minutes. But it's 4:05, and the last I heard from Ryan Bryan, who's producing today, the last I heard was, he's on his way, he's en route. I don't know what that means. But anyway, he'll be here at some stage. But it doesn't matter. When you've got Ready, Steady, Crook, Alex Crook joins us a bit later on. We are obviously looking ahead to a busy weekend of football. And it's busy at both ends of the table. I mean, Arsenal against Newcastle, I was talking about this one yesterday. It's so difficult to call. Because on paper, Arsenal should win it. Newcastle a bit pants at the moment. But there's so much pressure on every game that Arsenal play, including Man City, of course. So on the back of that, we'll be asking, this is a good question at 5. Who'd you rather be right now, Man City or Arsenal? And the reason I say that, I know you're obviously, if you're neutral, going to go, well, Man City. But Arsenal, they are joint on points with Man City. And, of course, they're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. Is that better than being top of the Premier League, having won a League Cup and having an FA Cup semi-final coming up? I don't know. I think I'd rather be Man City because I think they're going to win it, so they've got the momentum. But currently, who's having a better season so far? So we'll do that at 5 o'clock. We'll talk about all the big games this weekend. I mentioned Arsenal and Newcastle. The games at the bottom. I mean, West Ham have got Everton. Tough one to call. Management Max, who's a West Ham fan, thinks that Everton might nick a point, or West Ham might nick a point, or both. But Spurs, they just can't afford to lose against. They just can't. That would be nuts, wouldn't it? We'll talk about that in just a moment. We'll be talking about the London Marathon. If you're running it, by the way, Sunday, and you want a little shout-out, feel free, 81089. I'll give you a little shout-out. Good luck with that. I know quite a few talkSPORTers are doing it. Producer Joe's not in today. He's running marathon. I don't know why he needs Friday off. That's still not been explained to me, the marathon Sunday, but hey-ho. He'll be running on Sunday. So I'm sure he'll be boring everyone on Monday with his medal. We've got Bentley's EFL Corner. We've got the end of show quiz. We've got lots coming up between now and 7 p.m. with me, Andy Goldstein. Oh, yeah, he's not here to say his name. So while we wait for Bentley, it doesn't matter because there's lots to talk about. We're going to start with a huge day in the battle to stay in the Premier League tomorrow because West Ham, they are 2 points clear of Spurs. Both sides playing at 3 o'clock. West Ham host Everton, while Spurs go away to Wolves. And with those games not on TV, the best way to stay across everything, of course, is with the GOAT Adrian Durham from 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Right, let's hear from both managers speaking ahead of the games. Nuno was asked how confident he is of West Ham staying up.
Very confident. I think the performance of the team gave us all in the club the hope and the belief that we are competing well. I think since we joined, was one of our main goals to try and be comfortable at home, and the credit for the fans. I think the fans realize the situation of the team and really put an effort to support us, and the team is giving back.
I don't want to put too much pressure, but we have to know the situation. We can't forget the table. We can't forget we need a win. We can't forget maybe what we have done until now. If we win in Wolverhampton, is not finished yet anyway.
It's such a big weekend. Such a big weekend. I have no idea what's going to happen. It'd be so Spursy if West Ham lost and then Spurs lost away at a team that's already been relegated. I don't know what's going to happen. You can have your say on all of the above. And also one of the questions we're asking, Spurs, right? So Spurs are fighting relegation now. They were down there all of last season. One of the questions we're asking is, are Spurs still part of the Big Six? I don't really know the answer to that. I mean, they've got one of the best stadiums in world football, but that's probably where it ends, right? They haven't certainly got one of the best teams in the Premier League, obviously. They haven't got, I don't really know too much about their manager, how he's going to do it. Spurs deserve it. It's early days. But maybe Spurs fans can answer that. 0371 722 3344. Thankfully, Mick dialed into the show before we came on air, which is always nice when there's no Darren Bent. So maybe, Mick, you can play the part of Darren Bent. Hello, Mick. Oh, Mick.
Andy, nice to see some people could turn up for work.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to be Darren Bent for the next 6 minutes?
I would never, ever want to be a gooner as much as I love the boy. Please. I've got enough trouble in my life without being a gooner.
I'll tell you what then, Mick, because you've helped me out, you are now my co-host till the first break. All right?
Oh, magic.
So
when we're getting the first lot of freebies?
So it's, don't push it. So it's Andy and Mick on drive time till 4:15. All right?
Lovely.
So, co-host Mick, what have, I was going to say, what have you phoned up for? But of course you haven't because you're alongside me in the studio. What would you like to say, co-host Mick?
Well, just about Spurs in general. It's a massive game tomorrow. But this is where this lot have got to actually turn up.
Have you seen enough? Let me ask you this. It's only 2 games, right? 1-0 defeat to Sunderland was the first game for the Derby. Then, of course, you nearly nicked it at home to Brighton, but they scored late. That was 2-2. Have you seen, to quote Jason Cuddy, have you seen improvements? Have you seen anything over those 2 games that makes you think we've got a chance now?
Well, the Brighton game was a massive improvement. I mean, I was at the game. I got a season ticket. And when it got to 90 minutes, you're just thinking, just please hold on. Please hold on. Sure as that, bang, in it goes. You're deflated, but the performance was a lot better.
Mm.
But this lot have been, they're frauds. They've been absolutely conning us for the last 2 seasons.
You talking about the players?
100%. And the board are inadequate.
Mm.
They're absolutely inadequate. I did speak to you the other week about they sent us an email about season tickets.
Yeah, my mate's got that.
Saying that the Newcastle game next season would be a Category C and not a Category A. They didn't even know if we're going to be in the division next year.
You
so
might
that's
even,
how clueless
that is nuts.
That's how clueless they are.
Yeah. If you do stay up, if you manage to beat the drop, do you expect anything to change next season, or will you be battling relegation again?
Well, if we do start, I've said for 3 months we're done, because you watch them, and I think too many of them are giving up. The only one in that team that deserves any credit, and he's been brilliant all season, is Archie Gray.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute disgrace. They have these things now called leadership groups, right? You've got Romero. Now, I like the way he stood up and had a pop at the board, but some of his actions are absolutely... You're just thinking, mate, you're the captain. You've got to set an example here. And when he came off the pitch the other week at Sunderland, he weren't crying for us. He's crying for himself in his World Cup.
Do you think, Mick, that Spurs are part of the Big Six anymore?
Well, how can we be?
I agree with you. But if you stay up and the season resets, I think a lot of people will still have Tottenham down as part of the Big Six.
But how can you be? That goes back years ago to the 80s, yeah?
Yeah.
Football's changed a hell of a lot since then, and it's changed for the worse, right?
Mm.
Now, I started going to Spurs when we were a second division team. The first season I went, we were in the second division.
Yeah.
Right? Football was brilliant then, all the way through to the 80s, start of the 90s. But if you look at it now, there's not the flair players. All these teams are robots. How often do you see flashes of brilliance? That's why it's so good to watch Cherky score that goal last week.
Mm.
It was nice to see Ireland and Gabriel having that battle. That's what's missing out of football.
Mick, let me ask you this. I'm going to let you go in a second because the person you've replaced has decided to turn up. So I appreciate your time, Mick. Before I do, though, what's going to happen this weekend? You've got Wolves away and West Ham have got Everton at home. What's going to happen?
Well, I'm obviously hoping that they get beat and we win.
I know that, but forget that. Forget what you're hoping.
At some stage, we're going to get a win, and Everton and West Ham will be a draw.
So you think you beat Wolves away, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Mick, thanks for being my co-host for the first 15 minutes.
It's been an absolute pleasure working with you, Andy.
Likewise. We didn't have one argument, did we?
Not at all, mate. It's been lovely.
Good work. Maybe we'll work again soon if Benty decides not to turn up. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks, Mick.
Have a good weekend, boys.
Cheers,
Take care.
There you go, Mick. Proper co-host, turning up for the show at 4 o'clock.
Hi, Andy. You're right.
Oh, what's your name? Sorry, I've got a pen. I'll write it down. What's your name? What happened?
Yeah, it was late, wasn't it?
Where you been?
Talk what new. Come on, new.
This is a show. We're live. You got people.
Listen, you were supposed to be there.
No.
Yes, you was.
No. Listen, it's not about me. I cancelled last week, right?
No, you didn't.
And one of the reasons, because I wanted to be here for 4 o'clock.
That's a lie.
Why were you late?
Because we got to the final.
You win?
No. Just annoying.
Typical Arsenal.
Just annoying.
Typical Arsenal.
That's annoying. We just found out it was a time-based tournament.
Yeah.
And we all held our serves, but they served first. So we didn't get beat.
I'm glad you lost.
Why?
I'm glad you lost.
That was lovely, though. Lovely to see talkSPORT there, supporting.
Yeah.
Oh, you wasn't?
No, because I was busy this morning.
No, you was not.
Hold on. You and I spoke this morning before even the birds started.
Did you say yes?
And
originally?
I said to you, I'm playing pool today, practicing for the UK
but originally,
Open.
what did you say?
I said yes originally, but pulled out 2 weeks ago.
That's bad, that. That was 2 weeks ago.
A week ago.
You're better than that. But no.
No. Because I tell you what, sometimes I'm going to do stuff for me. Not for you and not for anyone else, for me.
Oh.
And today was that day where I thought, I haven't practiced pool for 2 weeks. I need to practice, so I'm going to practice pool today.
But it was lovely. Grief Encounter, great charity.
It was good charity. Well done.
So, yeah, but
So
guys,
you decided to turn up. Good. Okay.
Max was there, so everyone there.
Yeah, but Max has been back.
I got to the final.
Yeah. Well, you know what time we start. You go. Sorry, I've got a job.
Oh no, I'm not saying sorry because Max
Got a
was
job.
10 minutes. It's fine.
No, he didn't say.
How much should I bet?
He didn't say that.
I'm gonna show you the message.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. What time did you leave?
The final finished at 1:45.
Half hour.
Yeah.
Four stops.
Yeah.
Half hour.
You have to walk
it.
You have to walk from Padium to the station.
You got to make it up. All right.
Make up.
We'll take your calls. One of the questions you're asking, Benny, are Spurs still a part of the Big Six?
I know Ryan sent me the running order.
Oh, okay. Do you want to answer that?
No, last after the break.
Okay, yeah. Towel yourself down. Tottenham fans and, of course, West Ham fans, do you fancy it this weekend? We haven't even spoken about Forest. They go to Sunderland. That game's live on talkSPORT tonight. If Forest win, I think they're 100%. I think they're not in the mix anyway, but if Forest win, they're pretty much safe. But Spurs still part of the Big Six, and West Ham fans, what's going to happen in your home game against Everton? A busy weekend of football. You can have your say right after this. 03717 223344.
Vincent Kompany's side, who won their 35th Bundesliga title at the weekend, have made adding another winger this summer a top priority. Gordon's thought to be open to a move to the Bundesliga, even though a starting spot, the Allianz, is not guaranteed. Sources reveal the England international has already spoken to Harry Kane about life in Munich. Newcastle United reported to be willing to sell, providing their valuation of at least £75 million is met. Do you think that there's a possibility that Bayern might balk that valuation, Coisty? 75 million? It's a lot of money. I mean, he's a,
good player.
Fully fledged England international.
Oh, 100%, mate. 75 million. Far too much. Good player. I like him. Hasn't shown any level of consistency in the league. I would say best form's been in the Champions League or certainly Europe. Would he be interested in going? You better believe he would. I mean, if you're Anthony Gordon, crikey, a move to Bayern Munich, why would you not?
Well, because you might not play every
week. I know, I get that. And I was just about to say, you look at it, I've got Musiala, Diaz, Guerrero, I mean, Elise, Harry Kane, Gnabry. It won't start. I mean, if Bayern Munich were playing PSG today and he was in that squad, he wouldn't start, right? He would not start. He would not start a must-win game for Bayern Munich.
Than there are people on the planet.
On the planet.
Sad I've missed coming on the show.
It's your WhatsApp. It's your WhatsApp. It's your WhatsApp. It's your.
banger that is. Friday bangers. Music sounds better. That's Jamiroquai, isn't it? Yeah. It's Drama Talk Sport with me, Andy Goldstein, the paddle star in Darren Bent. He's thirsty. In partnership with Giacomo, starting brands for every man. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to the rest of the weekend's action in Ready, Steady Crook. Just quickly, the Premier League's key match incidents panel has ruled that Brian Brobby should have been shown a second yellow card for the shove on Romero, which ended Spurs' captain season.
Come on.
They
only did that after the fact.
See the point of these panels.
I get it. What's happened to Romero is awful, and it is awful, right? With the World Cup coming up and that. But
yeah.
Why do they need to come out and say that?
I don't know. I've never understood that.
Do you know what I mean? Why do you need to come out and do that? And plus, and also as well, by them doing that, they're almost encouraging another pile on Robbie, who received one after that game. That's anyway. Right.
Yeah, it does him no favours.
No.
Aston Villa, they're interested in signing James Trafford from Man City if Martinez decides to leave the club.
I thought he was going this season.
I do like Trafford. Spurs in for him as well.
Maybe.
Sure, they were. They were. All right, we're taking your calls on all things Tottenham. Are they still a part of the Big Six? What is your answer to that? We don't know your answer yet.
Well, in terms of revenue and certainly their performances the last 2 seasons suggest not.
Yeah.
And the moment, if the worst comes to the worst and they go down, no, they're not. But currently, when people talk about Spurs, they still talk about him in the light with the big boys in terms of the stadium, the training ground, the infrastructure.
Well, that's it, right? Infrastructure is the stadium, the training ground. That's another word you've used. You don't need to.
No, but I want to put that in there because it sounded good.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what people do. They use a lot of words, but it's only really 2: stadium and training ground, right?
But you know what the difference is that if they go down, they're not. But say Man United went to somehow went down, they probably still would be because of the size of the club.
Yeah, but I mean, that would never happen.
Yeah, but people probably said that about Tottenham. That'd never happen.
No.
Come on.
I know, but because Man United haven't gone down, it's an argument.
I'd probably say they're not.
They're not?
No.
Okay.
But they won the Euros.
I know, well. Let's talk to John. He's a Spurs fan. Hello, John. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm traumatised by Spurs this season, but, it's never dull, is it? You know.
No. Do you fancy it tomorrow?
I know I haven't fancied it since Thomas Frank got appointed, to be honest. It's like going to the dentist for a filling that you need. It's kind of better when it's over. It's from the highs of winning the Europa League and the real high of Andy's first 20-odd games in charge when we were playing probably the best football in Europe and blowing teams away to where we are now. It's inconceivable that it's the same team. I would just like to say, in terms of Big Six, it's stadium size, training ground, and it's the global fan base and the global reach of the club. When Arsenal weren't hitting the Champions League for years and we were finishing above them, no one said that they weren't a big club. When Man U was struggling to get into Europe, for those seasons, they were still a big club. Liverpool were a big club when they were mediocre.
Can I ask you, if Spurs go down, they'll have the same training ground, they'll have the same stadium, and they'll still have the same fan base and infrastructure around the world. None of that would change. So you suggested if they go down, they're still a top 6 club?
Well, they're not a top 6 club. I'd say in terms of revenue in this country and income and size and power of the club, they are. Where they are currently in the league doesn't determine the size of.
That's what I'm asking. So if they go down, all that stays. Are they still a top 6 club then?
Probably not top 6. I'd probably say like top 8, but they are still a power, and I'd say they're probably buyable and a brandable. And if you were sat out there with millions to buy a football club, they would be probably one of the top 6 choices that anybody would want to buy out of all of them. Like you look at Newcastle, I think you'd still rather buy Spurs in the Championship than Newcastle now, and that's no disrespect to Newcastle.
I think you would.
And I think one of the things I just wanted to point out that I've seen as a pattern over the last few seasons, since we had these stupid fair play financial rules, when teams go into Europe, they don't have the money available to spend to expand their squads necessary to cope with the extra 20-odd games. And that's why we're getting more injuries. This happened to Villa, Palace, Forest, Newcastle. Like Spurs will be fine next season with the squad we've got with 38 games. Like you look how easy it's been for Man U this season, barely playing any football because they haven't got all those games. But Man U, because the way the rules are, they can go and spend 300 million in the summer and be absolutely fine.
Do you know what's crazy? The only thing I'd say about that quote, he's right in terms about they were finishing above Arsenal and all that, right? But my point is that for all them times finishing above Arsenal, they had nothing to show for it. There's no trophies coming in, right? So then, and rightly so, you can have teams like Villa, even Forest to some extent, they're going to go, well done, look what we've won compared to what they've won. So how are they? But, do you know what I mean?
I think the point he made about if you've got billions and you want to buy a club, Spurs would be in the top 6 of clubs you'd buy. I totally agree.
Yeah, not in the Championship. It's not.
Oh, I think they are.
You wouldn't buy Newcastle in the Prem over Spurs in the Champ.
No, you mean the other way around. You wouldn't buy Spurs.
If Newcastle in the Premier League,
I would.
You'd rather buy Spurs.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
not buying a club for one season. I'm buying it for like 10 or 20, right? I'd rather buy a club with the infrastructure, we're using that word again, and the stadium and the setup Tottenham have got, whilst they're in the Championship, knowing that they're going to get out of it in a year or two.
Yeah, but they might not. There's no Leeds would have said the same thing. Forest would have said the same thing.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
They bounced around.
But you've got to finish 8th now to have a chance of getting out.
Yeah, okay, that helps.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't go up and you're finished 8th.
Yeah, there's something wrong there. Still to come, we're looking ahead to the rest of the weekend's action in Ready Steady Crook. First, a bit of no Googling. Maybe get the levels right now. All right, that's wrong as well, so maybe keep trying. That's wrong. We want to know which 2 sides have been to the most FA Cup finals without ever winning it. I'll give you clues. 2 different sides.
I think we have
got to 2. I don't think we have. Which 2 sides have been to the most FA Cup finals and never won it? It does ring a bell now you say that.
Yeah.
Lazy one, well, Billy. The answer to that and loads more coming up live. I'm talking in seconds. Good show. Stay where you are. But the most important thing for him and Man City fans is they are now top of the Premier League. How does that make you feel as an Arsenal fan?
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, I didn't watch the game. Because it's one of them.
I'm surprised you didn't, because with 5 minutes ago you'd have got very excited about it.
Yeah, no, but it's one of them where I expect when I saw them go 1 up after 6 minutes.
Yeah,
I went, here we go.
Yeah, me too.
Do you know what it means? But it's one of them where you have to just go, okay, fair enough. And I understand where some supporters are coming from when they say it's the best possible outcome. Because if Man City had gone to Burnley and beat them by 6, and you look at the goal difference, you're going, oh my goodness. But now everything is level apart from goals scored.
See, this is what I don't get. So we've got a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it ticking away last night.
Oh, did you?
But Luke, who's a diehard, a devout Arsenal fan, he's nuts about Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
He actually said, he quoted what you've just said, actually, it's the best possible result Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, the best possible result is Man City losing.
But obviously that was never going to happen.
No, but also with 5 minutes to go, but then best possible result was Burnley nicking an equaliser.
Yeah, apart from Man City getting beat or drawing, they were the best 2. But in terms of this scenario, 1-0 was perfect.
Yeah, but 1-0 is always better than 2-0, better than 3-0. So it's a little bit of a pointless saying.
Well, it's not, because if they go...
The best possible result we could have hoped, that's a lie.
Well, no, the best is
it's the worst win.
Yes, but it's the worst, best result we could have hoped for. Because 1-0 against Burnley...
That's such a bad claim.
Okay, if they're going to be 8-0.
I know. Here's the thing, right? And one more Billy made this point. I'm not going to steal his thunder in the meeting. It was a great point. It wasn't that long ago Arsenal were 9 points clear. You'd ask an Arsenal fan, including yourself, you're going to win. Long way to go.
talkSPORT understands Enzo Maresca is the top candidate to replace Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. We're hearing it's likely Guardiola will leave at the end of the season, despite having another year on his contract. Here's our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook.
I've been told by more than one source that high-level talks between Manchester City, their sporting director Hugo Viana, and Maresca have been taking place. Now, that's not to say City want Guardiola to leave now, but of course they have to prepare for that eventuality.
Manchester City face Southampton in the FA Cup semi-finals tomorrow, live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Chelsea's interim boss Callum McFarlane's been speaking ahead of their clash against Leeds on Sunday. He says he hasn't held a clear-the-air meeting with the squad following Liam Rosenior's sacking, but they're focused on delivering a strong finish to the season. Chelsea legend Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has told talkSPORT now is the time for the players to wear the badge with pride.
When you cross that white line, it's for you and your teammates to come together, play for the shirt, but make yourself proud and your family, and that's what they need to go and do on Sunday. As simple as that.
And Jim Furyk will return to captain the US Ryder Cup team at Adair Manor in Ireland next year. There's more on our website at talksport.com.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Rave music.
Someone's here, but Andy Bent. So Bent at Euston this morning, looking good with his paddle kit, looks trimmer than on TV. Weird question, what aftershave were you wearing? How close was he to me?
Don't tell him though.
Why?
We don't want people copying us. Were you wearing our one or your one?
Ombre.
Oh, good. Not the one I use. Fine.
What do you?
You're in one of them moods today, ain't you?
What?
I know you are. You're in trouble mood.
No.
You know you are. I detect it. And yeah, and you got a chip on your shoulder for some reason. You got the ump with something today, didn't you?
I'm in a very good mood, you know.
Oh, because you lost in the final, yeah, of course.
No, I'm in a very good mood.
Yeah, you lost in the final. Before the break, I asked which two sides have been to the most FA Cup finals without ever winning it.
What do you think?
I'll give you one of them smashed your team in the League Cup final. Jack Wilshere cried.
Birmingham.
Yeah. And the other one...
Southampton? Have they won it?
No, the first one they lost was 1984.
What part of the world they play in?
Watford.
Watford?
Yep, Watford.
Oh, what the other one? They got smashed by City, didn't they? 6-1 or something?
Yeah, 2019, yeah. Still to come, we'll look ahead to Leeds against Chelsea in the FA Cup this weekend. By the way, I think both FA Cup semi-finals are fantastic. I think they're going to be great.
Who's Man City got?
Southampton.
Oh, come on.
Who? Are you sure it's Southampton? Who did they beat in the last round? Oh, yeah, I forgot Arsenal. Right, time now for this. You're not.
By the way, do you two like haddock? Dinner, either swordfish and salad or steak and calamari.
I actually had an ice cream outside the Trevi Fountain in Rome.
I did have a burger today. You do tend to let it slip on a Sunday.
Cooking it up today, Alex.
I do like the last line, that is, you do tend to let it slip on a Friday. Yeah, I think that's
On a Friday?
Right, Ready, Steady, Crook time, where talkSPORT's chief football correspondent and SJA nominee. And we'll find out how he gets on Monday. We're all going on Monday.
Hope he wins it.
Alex Crook looks ahead to some of the biggest games of the weekend. Crook, are you there? Do you want to speak?
Evening, boys.
There you go. Took a long time to speak there, Crookie, didn't you?
Yeah, there was a little glitch in the system again. It must be Friday. My internet always goes funny on a Friday.
So I hope Cookie does win it, because A, he deserves it, and B, I feel like a proud father, because all that work I put into him in the boot room has got him to this point. So I feel like a proud father.
Is the flip side of that, if he doesn't win it, it's your fault because of all the stuff from the
No, because he's obviously forgot what I taught him.
Oh, right, okay. What have you learned from Bentley, Cookie?
Well, do you know what? I think fashion tips. I think he's quite a stylish bloke, and I've tried to replicate that.
No, you have not.
Unless there's something wrong with my TV, you haven't. I'll be honest, I've never seen Bentley wear a polo shirt with Boss written on it.
No, maybe not. Yeah, he's a little bit more subtle than me.
He's a legend, Cookie, isn't he?
What are you up for? What's the actual award, Cookie?
Summariser of the year.
Go on,
I'm not expecting to win.
Just summarise your chances of winning it.
I thought I had a better chance in the same category last year, and I didn't win then.
Who's in it with you, Cookie?
Who are you up against?
There's a couple of guys from The Athletic. I think there's somebody from Sky, and Richard Hoyles, who is the ITV main horse racing commentator. Very good.
He's good, he is, mate. I'd hate to be up against him. Right, we shall carry on our chat a bit later on about that, because we're going to talk football. We're going to start with Fulham against Villa in the Premier League. It's live on talkSPORT tomorrow. Fulham are 12th, whilst Villa obviously a 4th inside the Champions League spots by a massive 8 points. Cookie, who you been talking to this one ahead of it?
Well, it's a massive end of season, isn't it, for Aston Villa? Not just the Premier League, but Europa League as well. Unai Emery has been addressing the media, and he wants his team to focus on finishing 3rd.
We can extend as well. Our objective is to be in the top 5. But now we are 4th with Manchester United. They are 3rd. And why we are not getting a challenge as well to be 3rd in the league? I am here 3 years ago, 3 years and a half ago, and I didn't achieve this position. And of course, if we are now there, I am speaking with the players, we must be demanding ourselves to try to get the position in the table as better as possible.
That's Unai Emery, Aston Villa manager. I think he deserves a lot of credit, boys, because there was a time not that long ago when the wheels seemed to have fallen off, certainly in the Premier League. Even our own Gabby Agbonlahor, resident Aston Villa fan, said they wouldn't qualify for the Champions League. I think it was after they got hammered at home by Chelsea. But they've recovered, haven't they? They've got big players back, McGinn and Tielemans, and yeah, I mean, they're certainly going to finish in the top 5, and I think they'll probably win the Europa League as well.
Do you know what? I'm with you, Cookie, because I thought that period there, I thought, oh no, what's going to happen here? I thought the wheels were going to come off. And it almost looked like, I know he didn't, but it looked like he was prioritising the Europa over the Premier League. But it bounced back, but as you said, there players have coming back. It almost felt like that Ollie Watkins being left out the England squad as well has done him the world of good, because it's almost like he's refocused and gone, all right, I'm going to show you between now and the end of the season that I should be on the plane. So he's playing really well as well. So, but Unai Emery's a master. It was never going to go on. He wasn't going to allow his players to almost coast the second half of the season. They were always going to come back to the Villa that we know, Cookie.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, I think pound for pound, he's up there with the best managers in the division, bearing in mind they are hamstrung by financial issues. They're talking Morgan Rogers, isn't there, potentially being sold this summer. PSG showing interest. That would be a huge blow for Unai Emery and for Villa.
Before we move on, let me get your predictions for a game that's live on talkSPORT tomorrow, 12:30. Fulham against Villa. Cookie, what will the score be?
Yeah, it just feels like Fulham are in sort of end-of-season mode, so I'm going to go for the away win, 2-1 Villa.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to disagree with either of you. Right, let's move on to talk about Liverpool against Palace tomorrow afternoon. Liverpool won the Merseyside derby last weekend. They are 5 points above 6th place Brighton. What have you got for us ahead of this one, Cookie?
Yeah, Arne Slot had his pre-match press conference today as well, and he addressed the situation with the fans protesting against the owners over ticket prices.
Yeah, I think as long as I'm in football, there are disagreements, and almost all the time these disagreements are between people that have the best interest in the club. So could be me with a player, could be someone else, but we always have the best interest for the club. So the only thing I can say about that is that I think 2 weeks ago against Fulham there was also a protest, but we felt the complete support throughout the whole game of our fans, and that's what I mean with having the best interest in the club.
I don't think there's much more Arne Slot can say, really. I feel sorry for football managers because they have to speak to the media at least twice a week, once pre-match, once post-match. And it's not his idea to put the ticket prices up, is it? It's very much the owners, and they're never the ones who have to answer these difficult questions.
Go on, Dave.
I'd say it's been difficult for Arne Slot in the second season, but I do think, Crookie, if they finish in the Champions League, I think they'll probably go into next season with him, because it almost feels
100%.
I think almost it feels like his first season he's won it, the Premier League. His second season hasn't gone great. He at least deserves a third, I think.
Yeah, I think that's been the thinking all the way along, Benty. I've never really deviated from that. I've never felt there's been an appetite from the hierarchy to change the manager. They've had a lot of very difficult circumstances to negotiate and navigate this season. I do think in the eyes of the fans, he's going to have to start next season strongly, but they're going to make the top 5. They're at least going to be in the Champions League. And yeah, I certainly expect Arne Slot to be their manager come the start of August.
Just a quick word about Palace. They're away to Shakhtar, I think he's on Thursday in the Conference League semis. Glasner said that won't affect his team selection, but it's only natural that the players are going to have that on their mind, and it might possibly affect his selection, right?
It's got to, isn't it? I mean, having said that, I was at Bournemouth in midweek, as you know, and I was amazed with the strength of the team that Daniel Farke sent out. But there were times in that game that the Leeds players seemed to be playing within themselves, didn't want to get injured, didn't want to expand too much energy ahead of the FA Cup semi-final. I'd be amazed if Oliver Glasner didn't make changes, because what an opportunity for Crystal Palace. Both legs of this game live on talkSPORT 2. The chance to get to a European final for the first time in their history, and favourites to win that competition. That has to be the focus between now and the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm making changes. I'm being delicate with the team.
You have to.
100%.
3 o'clock tomorrow, Liverpool against Palace. What will the score be? Cookie?
Could be a good win for Liverpool, 2-0.
DB?
Do you know what? I'm going to go for a 2-2.
Oh, yeah, a bit Desmond Douglas.
Go for Desmond.
Right. I'll show you, Steve. Right, it's a big game now. Title race tomorrow. Arsenal against Newcastle. Arsenal will move back to the top of the league if they avoid defeat, with Man City, of course, playing in the FA Cup. This is a gigantic game for so many reasons, and part of those reasons, or some of those reasons, are Newcastle and Eddie Howe. What happens to him if they lose? Who have you been chatting to ahead of this game, Cookie?
Yes, Eddie Howe has been speaking ahead of this one. Newcastle on a poor run, and Eddie Howe discussed that after another defeat at home to Bournemouth last week.
We're all feeling that pain at the moment. It's been a difficult period for us. I think we're very determined to try and put that right. We're very determined to try and win as many games as we can. Prided ourselves on, historically, even if we lose a game, fighting to the end, giving everything to try and get a result. I feel the players are currently at the moment maybe lacking in a little bit of confidence. We've lost a little bit of our normal, regular flow and rhythm that we've had in historical times.
That's Eddie Howe addressing Newcastle's poor run of form. Doesn't get any easier, does it, for the Magpies? They're up against double chasing Arsenal.
Oh, well done.
Well done, Crookie, mate.
Very good.
I'm not going to sink to his levels, but Crookie.
Oh, that might have sealed your SJA award, that one.
Crookie, with Eddie Howe, listen, I really like Eddie, and I think he's done a wonderful job at Newcastle. Trophies, Champions League, right? But it does feel like the last few months that it's starting to change, and maybe not that the players are getting tired of the same voice, but they're not playing with that same energy, that same kind of appetite that they once were under Eddie Howe. Do you worry for him at the end of the season?
I don't worry for him because, I think he's done an excellent job. And if he does leave Newcastle, as is possible, I think it'll be on his own terms. And I think he will still get a decent job in the future. His legacy, I think, will remain intact because he's delivered Champions League football not once but twice. He's won silverware, which very few managers in Newcastle's history have managed to do. So I think probably Newcastle fans will only fully appreciate the job he's done when he is gone. If that is this summer, then good luck to him. But you're right about the players. I don't know if it's the fact they're tired of the same voice. I just think they've got a lot of players who are either trying to save themselves for the World Cup or looking ahead at a possible summer transfer. And because they haven't got anything to play for now in terms of European qualification, I think they've taken their foot off the gas.
Go on in. We've got one more game to talk about before we move on. 5:30 tomorrow. Huge game in the race for Premier League titles. Arsenal against Newcastle. What will the score be?
I think Arsenal need to go for it. If they play as well as they did at City, they could get a decent win here, 3-1.
Okay, DB, you're going to go for home win, obviously.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm going for a draw. I'm going 1-1. How about that? Let's finish with talkSPORT's live commentary of Manchester United against Brentford. It's Monday. United beat Chelsea last weekend. They're third, 8 points inside the Champions League spots. Meanwhile, Brentford have drawn their last 5 games. Wow. Crookie, what you got for us?
Yeah, Manchester United still the only team in the Premier League not to lose back-to-back games this season. Michael Carrick still in charge until the end of the campaign. As it stands, we don't know beyond that. He was asked about Bruno Fernandes's form and the key to it.
I like seeing Bruno in attacking positions with a little bit of freedom. He obviously, again, plays for the team and he's a big responsibility within that, and I thought he did that ever so well, especially on Saturday without the ball and the defensive work that he did. So he's got big responsibility within that, but trusting him,
trusted him. You know, he's a very good player. He sees things. He's creative. He's got a really good brain. He's a big part of the group as well, and a big influence. So a lot of it's in trust and trying to put him in a position where we think he can make the biggest difference, really.
See, one word, Billy, on the script there talked about Bruno Fernandes' recent form. I think his form for a number of seasons now has been absolutely exceptional, far and away United's best player post-Ferguson. And I think if they were title challengers, I think he'd be a really strong contender for Premier League Player of the Year this year.
Are you throwing one more Billy under the bus there? Is that what you're doing?
A little bit.
Okay. No. Wow. Bite that in the future. I can't tell you what Billy just said in my ear. Benty, listen, on paper, United should win this one, all right?
That'd be difficult.
They've drawn their last 5, Brentford.
You ain't been unbeaten.
Yeah, they haven't won.
I know. I'm going to go Brentford to.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm going to go for 2-2.
All right, bit of a draw. How do you see this one, Crookie?
I think United will win. They're going to have to play a lot better than the Leeds game I had to sit through the other week, but I'm going to go 2-1 United.
Right. Crookie, it's Big Friday. What are you doing? What are you up to?
The sun's out, so it's sort of beer garden territory and maybe a couple of frames of pool as well. I went back to pub pool this week, by the way. I won 1 frame all season. It was last game of the season. I won both frames.
They're called
tripled
racks.
my victories, Andy.
They're called racks, Crookie, in pool.
What's frames?
Okay, sorry, you are the expert.
Well, we should play for money, Crookie, you and I.
I'd need a handicap.
There are too many jokes. Crookie, have a great weekend, man. I'll see you Monday.
Cheers, boys, you too.
See you
Cheers,
Monday
Crooks.
ahead of SJAs. That'd be
Forward
good.
to
Who'd your money be on me, v Crookie, in the game of pool?
Well, I've seen you get beat twice, so I probably...
You haven't seen me get beat.
You got beat by Ryan, beat by Max.
I didn't get beaten by Ryan or Max.
You did.
I don't know if I played Max. I mean, you literally just make it.
Yeah, you did. Max.
I think you've seen me win twice in the US Open.
I've also seen you get smashed.
You haven't seen me.
El Strickland, you win.
Why are you so violent?
El Strickland.
What's the matter with you? Well, the game's greatest ever played. Beat me 9-1, yeah.
Ralph Suke? Is it Ralph Suke?
9-0 beat me.
And it was after Ralph?
Then I won my matches. 8-6 and 8-4.
Are you telling me you're one of the world's best?
I'm telling you, I can beat professionals.
No, but are you one of the world's best? Are you one of the best?
So rude.
Now,
What's the matter with you?
It's a simple question.
Oh, you come in late and you give it all that.
Are you one of the world's best?
You know I'm not. Of course I'm not.
We know we can talk about beating this person, that person, so...
There's something wrong with him today, isn't there? Turns up late and he's on one.
No, I'm not late.
How'd you work that out?
When management says it's fine, it's that you're not late.
Oh, what time does the show start?
4.
And what time do you get in?
Management?
Well, no, but what time
Take out management.
Yeah, did they say you can come in late?
Yes.
So you were late?
Not late.
There you go.
Later.
There you go. I rest my case. No further questions, Your Honour. At 5 o'clock, we will be looking ahead to the game that Newcastle hopefully will get something out of. They take on Arsenal at the Emirates. If you want to have your say on that, you can. 03717223334. We've also got FA Cup football to look forward to. We'll talk about that and the end of show quiz and the best of talkSPORT. All of that and more is coming up in the next 2 and a bit hours live on Drive and talkSPORT.
The big news is that Liam Rosenior has been sacked by Chelsea after 5 straight Premier League losses in which Chelsea didn't score a single goal. That's their worst record since 1912. Now, Chelsea would have preferred Rosenior to stay and be judged in years rather than weeks, but it simply wasn't possible. And as a consequence, a mid-season change is needed. Even though Rosenior only got the job in January, what I can tell you is that the players have already been informed. They were off today, and Callum McFarland will take charge of the team until the end of the season on an interim basis. And that includes the weekend's FA Cup semi-final against Leeds United at Wembley, and then Chelsea and the summer will do a thorough process to replace Rosenior, but they're going to take their time with that. So Rosenior sacked after that loss to Brighton, arguably Chelsea's worst performance in many, many years. And it is an interim manager in Callum McFarland to take charge until the end of the season.
Ben, firstly, well done on breaking the news. I'm looking at all the other media outlets. We've got it before everyone, so I really appreciate you telling talkSPORT first. Why the big change of heart? Because it wasn't that long ago the owners came out and almost confirmed the fact that they were going to stick with their manager, and they see him in that position for a long, long time. Why all of a sudden is it the change of heart? Is it the performance? Is it the result last night?
Sam Ryder! Please welcome back Will Traeger. You have 4 billion more listens than there are people on the planet.
On the planet.
Sad I've missed coming on the show.
It's your WhatsApp. It's your WhatsApp. It's your WhatsApp. It's your...
Is there any rhyme or reason to today's bangers, or are they just bangers?
Alex is just playing bangers, man.
Right on time, innit? Where's your cut off? Yazoo. This is Drive on talkSPORT with me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, we're asking who you'd rather be right now, Arsenal or Man City. That is a great question. That is a great question. Just quickly, Eddie Howe said that he's looking forward to sitting down with Newcastle owners next week to express things from my perspective. I don't know what that means.
I mean, you get told what to do.
Yeah, we've all been there. It does. Luke Littler, my man, beat Johnny Clayton 6-1 in the final to win week 12 of the Premier League in Liverpool.
He must be miles ahead.
Have you been watching? No, I think he's still behind Johnny Clayton in the league. Yeah. Have you been watching any of that?
Not one bit.
It's weird, isn't it? I haven't either.
Not
Very
one bit.
strange.
But we're not even playing darts here either.
No, I know. We need to get back into that. Right, time now for this.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
Yeah, time now for today's bet, but with the friends of Paddy Power. Let's welcome Max Thompson to the show. Tomo.
Hey guys, how's things?
Good, man. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good. Why can't we see you today? Oh, we can see you today.
Yeah, I should be there, yeah.
Now we can. You all right? You well?
Yeah, all good.
Good.
So, is that a blurred background?
I think it's just
No,
the
it's
wall.
actually just my wall, yeah.
The wall, yeah. You should paint little bits on to confuse people.
Yeah,
Right.
need something.
We have got you on because we're looking forward to tomorrow afternoon in the Prem as Fulham play Aston Villa at Craven Cottage. Can you remind everyone how the bet builder works and the charity that may benefit?
Yeah, so Andy's got a pick here, Benty's got a pick, our producer has a pick, the people have a pick, which is the most popular bet on Paddy Power at the minute. I have a pick, all comes together for a 5-leg bet builder, which hopefully will win, and all the proceeds go to our charity partner, which is the Attitude Foundation.
Okay, fingers crossed. 5-leg bet builder, as you mentioned. I've gone for Aston Villa to win the game.
Yeah, Villa to win. Had a look, Emery has played Fulham 8 times, and he's won all 8 games, so you'd expect that trend to continue tomorrow.
Yeah, so I've gone for Ollie Watkins, who's banging the form again to score anytime.
Yeah, Watkins, Villa's top scorer with 11 Premier League goals. Fulham defence obviously been very leaky of late, so you'd expect him to potentially score.
Next up is producer. Now, producer Joe is off for some reason because he's got the marathon in a few days. I don't really understand that, but that means Ryan Bryan is his replacement. What's he gone for?
Yeah, he's gone for Sasa Lukic to be booked. This guy absolutely loves a foul. He's got the most yellows for Fulham this season with 7, so you could see him getting a card tomorrow.
Okay, 3 down, 2 to go. Next up are the people. What have they gone for?
The people are going with both teams to score. It's happened in 4 of the last 5 Aston Villa games, so you could see that trend continue.
And the last one's yours. What are you going for, Max?
I'm going with Harry Wilson to have a shot on target. Fulham's best player this season. He's got 10 goals for the Cottagers, and I also read that he's been linked with Aston Villa recently, so you'd expect him to want to impress tomorrow.
Okay. Can you confirm the betBuilder insurance odds and the value of the charity bet before I let you go?
Yep, so we've got Villa to win here, Watkins to score, Lukic to be booked, both teams to score, and Wilson to have a shot on target. Super sub applies to those player selections. It comes together for a betBuilder with odds of around 23 to 1, so £10 would return £240 for our charity partner, hopefully.
Fingers crossed, Max. Thanks for coming on. Have a lovely weekend.
Cheers, guys. You too.
Thanks, Paddy. Again, that's Paddy Power's betBuilder for today. Minimum 125, obligated plus begamblerware.org.
Paddy Power on talkSPORT. With Paddy's Super Sub, your new bet rolls over to the new player coming on. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus begamblerware.org.
Well, you're not a line biker, are you? You don't like bikes?
No.
They brought a new one. Oh, I'm looking forward to trying that.
Why?
That just looks cool. Smaller wheels.
What I find bizarre is if people owned bikes, the majority of them would have their own crash helmet.
Yeah.
But when you go on a line bike, no one has their own crash helmet.
No. It's such a good way to get about, though.
Yeah,
such a good, certainly with the week we've had with this.
I just don't like the fact they're all just dropped off anywhere on the street.
It's not anywhere. I mean, majority of places you can leave them, but there are certain parts where you can't leave them, and it says, "No, you've got to please move it."
What happens if you don't?
They charge you.
Do they?
What you don't want to happen is someone go to the bike and it's still on your account because you haven't stopped it, and it's like riding it everywhere.
All right, okay. I didn't know that.
So I'll take it out for 2 weeks.
I see some just lying on the road somewhere. And
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, you can always tell if someone's stolen one because it does that beep, beep, like as they're riding, it's beeping like crazy.
Why would you steal one?
Because some people are like that.
What's the matter with people?
Don't want to pay the money, do they?
How much is it line bike?
I don't quite know.
Okay.
But I'll get you a price for you.
All right, yeah, thanks.
I'll get you a price list.
All right. When we come back, we're asking, I think this is a great question. Who would you rather be right now? Who's had a better season? Is it Arsenal or Man City? Now, you may go, obviously, City because they're top of the Prem. Yes, they are. And they've won the League Cup and they're in the FA Cup semi-final. But Arsenal are also sort of top of the Prem, but they've got a semi-final of the Champions League. So who would you rather be? Who so far has had a better season? Arsenal or Manchester City? 03717 223344. My switchboard is clear, meaning if you're one of those people on a Friday, I'd love to go on talkSPORT, but no, it's empty. It's not busy today. 03717 223344. Who's had a better season? Who would you rather be, Arsenal or Man City?
It's expensive as well, living in Paris, by the sounds of it, Emmanuel. It's expensive being Emanuel Petit, by the sounds of it, as well.
No, so happy to be Emanuel Petit, you know.
Oh, quite right.
If I was not Emanuel Petit, I wish I would be. I could be Emanuel Petit. Honestly, my life is beautiful. You know?
Well, let's get into this. What do you like about him?
Well, I always do what I like, you know. I don't do things because I don't want to do it. And this is a luxury, especially nowadays. People would think, okay, with the money you earn, but I gave everything to my ex-wives. I had 3 divorces and I gave the half of it to the States too. So, but I'm still very happy. I try, you know, every single morning when I wake up, I want to stay positive because life is beautiful. I know it's very difficult, but if you want things to change in your life, you have to be positive. This is my religion.
Coming on this show often might change that.
Well, I was going to say,
if I have to come every single day with Simon, maybe it will change after a month.
I'm fine, mate. I'm positive. I was going to say, Emmanuel, you only do things in life that you want to do, and you're sitting beside him.
It's a luxury, actually,
Yes,
because
it's a luxury.
most of the people, they don't have the choice to do it.
Do you know when you won it in '98? What was the culture like in that squad? The environment. What
Amazing.
was it? What was the mood? Who's your best pal in that squad?
Patrick, Fabien, Robert. I had so many strong links, with former players.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pitodry on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Welcome back to hour number 2, Drive Time on talkSPORT. I'm here, and he wasn't here for the first hour, but he is here for the second hour.
I'll make love to you.
I mean, Alex, who's that, Boys to Men?
Yeah. Oh.
Do they have any other bangers apart from that?
You having a laugh?
No.
End of the Road.
Oh, yeah? To the end.
They've got loads, man.
Go on, name another one.
Motown Philly back again. Tune.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, they've got classics, man.
Go on, name another one. 3.
I'll give you some more.
You can't think of any.
They've got some lovely Christmas tunes.
Okay. I'm dreaming.
I'll get you some bangers.
Right, okay.
Let it snow.
Let it snow.
Jesus,
let it
what
snow.
a tune. No.
That's Bing Crosby.
No. Boys to Men.
Right.
I'll get some bangers.
Search online now for bangers. Oh, actually. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to this week's FA Cup semi-finals. Delete that. Live on talkSPORT. But now, who'd you rather... Great question to start the afternoon. Who'd you rather be right now, Arsenal or Manchester City?
Manchester City 2, Arsenal 1. The big players just love the big occasion, and they don't come any bigger for Erling Haaland.
Don't get me wrong, it'd be a disastrous season, but I think they give him one more opportunity. I think he'll get next season as well.
Arsenal fans are funny. It's like when they get beat by Bournemouth, they say it's over, it's finished, that's it, it's done. When they get beat by City, they say, well, we can still win it. well, what is it?
And there's the full-time whistle. It's done, it's dusted, and it's victory for Manchester City. Just about. They head to the summit.
Yes, Arsenal host Newcastle tomorrow, knowing that avoiding defeat will move them back to the top of the Premier League. I don't think avoiding defeat is key for us. They've got to win that.
And win comfortably.
Yeah, Man City obviously in FA Cup action. The Arsenal boss, Mikel Arteta, has been speaking ahead of the game. He said his side are in a great position.
I don't know. It's 5 games to go, 4 weeks, 2 big competitions to play for, and everything to play for. I mean, if somebody would have told us at the beginning of the season, we would have taken it, and we are so excited. And tomorrow is game 1.
Yeah, I mean, if someone would have said, do you want to be top of the league, joint top with 5 weeks to go, you go, yeah.
Yeah.
But if someone would have said you were 9 points, you go, it's not great.
No, you're right.
There's different ways of... Who's had a better season? So City have won the League Cup. They're in the FA Cup semi-final. They're top, out of the Champions League.
Well, do you know what? It's... If you say you break it down into 2, right? So first half of the season is Arsenal. Like the flying, right? But Arsenal now obviously lost in the League Cup final, didn't show up in the second half. Got got beat, not comfortably, but Southampton were brilliant, right? And they deserve a lot of credit, right? So you're out 2 cups quickly. You're in the Champions League semi-final, which is impressive, right? And you are second in the league. But now you look at City. If you're from a City perspective, now you're going, right, we've still got the chance to win 3 trophies. We are top of the Premier League, and we've already won a trophy. So right now you're going, well, City have had a better season because they've already got 1 trophy in the bag.
I agree with that.
1 trophy in the bag. They're top.
I know, but from here on in, who would you rather be? Because you are in the semi-finals of the Champions League, and you're top, joint top, right? They're joint top.
Yeah.
I think they're in a stronger position than you, although you could argue they've got harder games.
Yeah.
But they do have a League Cup and they're in an FA Cup semi-final. Who'd you rather be going forward? I know you're programmed to say Arsenal. I get that.
See, moving forward, like Arsenal got a chance to achieve something that they've never done, which is win the Champions League. So that's exciting. But I would have liked Arsenal to have bagged a trophy. Just listen, the League Cup is not one of those where you go, listen, Arteta, wow, we've won the League Cup.
Yeah.
But I think you have to win something to almost breed that winning mentality in terms of your squad. And that there was no perfect opportunity to beat City, the team is hunting you down in that League Cup final, to kind of show the rest of the world that, do you know what, Arsenal, this is a different Arsenal. But the way that the second half went in that final, you go, oh, God. And
you picked the wrong goalkeeper.
Do you know what I mean? Certain split decisions, you go, really? So, of course, City are top. They've won a trophy. They're in another semi-final. Majority of people would say them. But I'm going to have to say Arsenal because the Champions League semi-final and they're still joint top with Man City. But
there's a lot of buts going on.
If the worst happened and they went out to Atletico, then... Because I can't see who's going to stop City in the FA Cup.
No, of course not. I think that your chances of winning the Champions League rely quite heavily on this game this weekend.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
If you go into that game...
smashing Newcastle 3-0, we go, here we go.
But if you get beat 1-0 and you know that you're still second and City got game in hand, it's like, oh my... With
the pressure ramps up then because you're going... All of a sudden, in the space of a week, you're going, oh my goodness... We've lost the first leg of the Champions League to Atletico, who are a really good side.
Yeah. Where's the first leg? Your gaff?
Their gaff. I'm in Madrid now next week.
Oh, I didn't know that, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Are you actually going?
I'm doing the comms, yeah.
Are you going there, though?
Yeah.
Are you actually going on a plane?
Yes. I mean, how else was I going to get there?
Well, sometimes you do it off tube, didn't you?
No, but I'm going there, actually going there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are we doing the whole show from there? Is it all for 1 or 1 for all? You taking us with you? You won't leave us behind, will you?
No, of course I wouldn't.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so we're all in Madrid next week.
Weird, because I've not had any...
No? You didn't know I was going. So, clearly you haven't had the confirmation.
Yeah, you're right.
If Arsenal could beat Newcastle, and Newcastle in bad form, like really bad form. But this is where I think for Arsenal, sometimes they beat themselves. Like we've seen them first half of the season absolutely dispatch so many teams. Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid played really well, some really good football, beat Villa. But then you look at the Wolves' performance where a bit of pressure, struggled. Even the first game against Wolves where we won 2-1, 2 OGs, weren't great.
No. And that was late on.
Late on, right? But so Newcastle not in any great form whatsoever, but Newcastle will know this. And we'll go, okay, we'll try and park the bus. We'll try and frustrate Arsenal. Because a point for Newcastle, in the context of things of what's going on, it's decent for them.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
So Arsenal just got to go there with that positive mindset they had against Man City.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a similar team be picked and then go and get the result.
Okay. What will the score be? Let's take calls. What will the score be?
I think Arsenal win 3-1.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
I was expecting, if you thought Arsenal win, I was expecting you to say 1-0, but you think they're going to score 3, do you?
I think 3-1, yeah. I think Newcastle will push them, so they have to go and score 3-1.
Right. How important is that first goal?
Massive.
You concede it.
But if Arsenal score early, don't retreat.
Yeah, keep going for the second.
Keep going. Because now...
Well, you need Arsenal to play like they did against Man City.
Arsenal now are in a shootout with Man City.
Yeah.
1-0s, and they ain't happening because you know what Man City are like.
Yeah.
It's a shootout.
I agree. So, who would you rather be, Man City or Arsenal?
Who'd you rather be?
I'd rather be Man City. Well, they've won the Champions League. You haven't. It's different because they've won it. You haven't.
Who'd you rather be, Man City or Man United?
Well, right now,
yeah.
Man United.
That's what.
I can only say that. That was so silly.
What do you mean?
Who'd you rather be, Spurs or Martin?
That's not a silly question.
Martin is an Arsenal fan. Hi, Martin.
Hi, guys. You all right?
Oh, great. How are you today? You well?
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. First time call. Never called in before.
Oh, nice.
Just want to say how much I love the show.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thanks, man. What would you like to say?
I would say that I'd rather be in Man City's shoes, and I do think Man City have had a better season so far.
Yeah.
But I 100% think it's all still to play for. Yeah. I think that Man City, they've gone under the radar. They haven't had the pressure that Arsenal have had all season. Like, as an Arsenal fan, it's been so hard. It's been like walking through like tar, just watching them and feeling that pressure and hearing everyone, yourself included, having a go at them, expecting it, loving it when they're not getting it. And I think Man City have just coasted into the position they're in.
Do you know what it is, Martin, as well, right? I think there has been pressure on Man City. There always is, I believe. But I think they've just handled it better. So I think it's appeared to everybody else that they're not really under any pressure. But I'm sure Pep in the dressing room puts them under so much pressure, but they just know how to handle it. So it doesn't really show. Whereas I feel when Arsenal are going through this type of patch, the whole world knows that we're under pressure.
Yeah, 100%. And the fans feel it. Like when you're in the stadium, like when we're not playing well, it just goes so dead, so quiet, something goes wrong, and you can feel the anxiety, and it transfers onto the players. And I mean, you just never really see that with City, but like they haven't always got full stadium anyway. So yeah, it's just
nice little dig there.
Go for him.
Yeah, it just I think City are in a better position, but I do think we'll do it. I'm going to be optimistic. I think we'll do it.
Their stadium that you're suggesting wasn't necessarily full. It was noisy, wasn't it, when Haaland scored that goal against you?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I thought you said that.
Yeah, I can't say anything about that.
No, you can't. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your kind words. Have a nice weekend.
And you guys. Thanks a lot.
Cheers, pal. I think this would be an interesting one. Who would you rather be? Obviously, I'm looking for the neutral stance to this. I imagine all City fans would say City, obviously, and Arsenal.
Well, you have to look. You have to look at the second half of the season. Arsenal first half of the season were faultless in terms of the Champions League campaign, the Premier League campaign, but they've allowed things to.
You weren't with me yesterday.
Yeah, I was.
No, were you?
Yeah.
Were you here when the? Oh, you were here when the Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's the day before, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When the Arsenal fans said that Man City have opened the door for them. I think that's an insane statement.
Well, no, we had the chance, 9 points clear. It shouldn't be this close.
No, it shouldn't be. All right. How do you think you get on the weekend, Arsenal and City fans? But more importantly, who would you rather be? Who's had a better season? Is it Arsenal or City? We'll take your calls in just a moment. 03717 22 334. It's Friday. It's drive time. You can be a part of it by dialing that number.
What's happened?
Hello, matey.
What's happened?
You all right?
How are you, matey? You good?
I'm all right. Yeah, very well. Thank you very much.
Gaffer's gone.
Yeah.
Gaffer's slapped.
Yeah, last night's performance
slapped.
was unacceptable, mate.
Yeah, he got slapped.
Yeah, something.
Slap.
That could not stay the same. The run of results and performances have just led to this. I mean, you heard me last night. I was absolutely crestfallen last night.
Thought he'd done well, mate. Thought he'd done well.
Well,
First
the fact that he's gone suggests that he didn't. You know, it's one of those situations that something had to give, and we weren't. You know, you can't go through over 8 hours of football without scoring a match in a game in the Premier League. You can't do that. Those glasses look ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Are they hurting your eyes? I'll put them on. They start to.
I can't see nothing.
So if I do some hand signals to you, you won't see them.
No, I can't see. I actually genuinely. I'm disappointed. He's a good manager, Rosenior.
Well,
playing some good stuff.
He may well be in the future a very good manager, but right here, right now, things were falling apart at the seams, and they were falling apart quite quickly. The last goal we scored in the Premier League was away in a victory against Aston Villa 4-1.
Yeah.
That was in March.
Yeah, some encouraging signs in.
And you can't carry on playing games. And last night's performance, it was unacceptable. That was completely unacceptable. You can look and you can lose a football match, and I've seen over the years Chelsea lose plenty of football matches, but it's the manner in the defeat, and the players they need to look at themselves as well.
The one and only Sam Ryder. Please welcome back Will Traeger Show. You have 4 billion more listens than there are people on the planet.
Sad I've missed coming on the show.
It's your WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp, it's your...
I bet you can't name any of them.
Again?
Hev?
What did you say?
I bet you can't name any of them.
No. But they're great group.
Yeah, Boys to Men, I'll try and guess them. How many of them are? 6?
No, there was 4, but I think there might be only 3 now.
Oh, what happened to one of them? Oh, did he die?
I think so, yeah.
Did he?
I think so, yeah.
That's not good, is it?
Right.
You got them?
Yeah, I mean, the internet is. Come on. So I know this doesn't really work.
Turn up a bit, I like this. If you're out there and you're with your loved one, just give them a hug. Just a cuddle. Just dance with them slowly. Just maybe rest your head on their neck.
Whatever.
Give them a little kiss.
Go on.
Give them a little peck. Remember that bit?
Alright, go on then, give me a go.
You found it? Turn that about. How many of them are there that I've got to guess?
There's 3.
Marvin.
Who?
Marvin.
No.
Howard.
No.
Ringo.
No.
Was it? Can you turn it down a little bit, Al? Thanks, man. Just give me a letter. I'll try and get the letter.
N.
Nigel.
NM is the first initials.
What? NMM?
No, NM.
NMM? Eminem one, isn't it?
No.
Hey, mate, you've got that massive. Eminem, he's a rapper. He's totally different genre of music.
NM.
NM?
Yeah.
What, his first name's N, his second name's N?
N, yeah.
I won't get his...
Okay, just give me N, first name.
Nigel?
No.
Nicky?
No.
November?
No.
Norris?
No, this is painful. Nathan. You've got Nathan Morris, Sean Stockman,
and Eminem.
Wanya Morris.
And who's the one that sadly passed away?
Mark past men was Mark Nelson and Michael McCary. I don't know which one's.
None of them have died, I've just been told. So
no? All good, yeah? But they went from 4 to 3.
All right, well, it doesn't mean there may be one left. Doesn't mean they died.
A great group. They got some
Are
love.
they still going about?
Yeah, they still do tours and that.
Oh, they're touring South Africa at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Good work, Al. Do you know that off the top of your head, or you just Googled it? You're a fan? Oh, you're a fan? Okay, that's interesting.
Let it snow. I love
You're right. This is Drive and Talk Sport. It's me and him. And our friends at Giacomo Style for Brands for Every Man. Just quickly, it's been confirmed the FA Cup final will kick off in the traditional time slot of 3 p.m. on Saturday, the 16th of May.
Is that the only...
Well done.
Yeah, lovely.
Do you remember one year the FA Cup was like 5 p.m. on a Saturday?
5:30.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
3 o'clock, well done.
They're trying to water down that trophy, man. I love the FA Cup.
I know. Me too. Should we go to the phone lines asking who's in a better place, who's had a better season, who'd you rather be, Man City or Arsenal? Colin is a City fan. Cole?
Hey,
you all right?
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Can we what?
I think
We'd say, can we what?
We're definitely in a better place.
Right, go on, tell me why.
Because we've got the worst team we've ever had under Pep Guardiola, yet we're beating the so-called best squad that Arsenal have ever assembled. Best team in the world.
I don't think there's anything of Man City that has the word worst in the title.
Yeah, all right, not as good as normal.
That's a little bit facetious.
I mean, even that, I think, listen, you've got Haaland, who's one of the best strikers on the planet.
You've got Bernardo Silva, who's a frightening talent.
You've got Mark Gay, you've got Donnarumma, the best goalkeeper on the planet. Yeah. Certainly one of the best goalkeepers on the planet.
Turkey looks like he's one of the most skillful players already.
Rodri, Ballon d'Or winner.
You've got Foden, PFA Player of the Year a couple of years ago, can't even get in the team.
I thought Arsenal had the best squad ever assembled.
You never heard that on this station. Yeah, but you said you got the worst.
You said it.
You said you got the worst squad.
No, I said the worst that Pep has assembled.
No, we ain't one of the worst. This is a decent team. Shirky's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Not bad for 35 million, neither is he.
And do you know what I never understand? Do you know what, Colin? I never understand. And this is a compliment to Manchester City. How do you find these players for like 35 million, and everyone else is looking at them? No one takes them, and you get them, and they turn to superstars.
Because we've got proper people. And thank you for that. Because everybody else says we buy superstars with our money.
You do.
We don't.
You do. What happened to Reinders? What happened to him?
He wasn't that much.
Yeah,
60 million.
He wasn't that much, neither. 60 million.
Is that cheap? Is it?
Well, it's cheap compared to I can't even pronounce it. What's he called at Liverpool?
Which one? There's two for 100 million.
Isak?
The midfielder that they spent 100 million on.
Szoboszlai?
No, you know who I mean.
Reinders was 42 mil. That was it.
About Wirtz, right?
Yeah, Wirtz.
Yeah, right.
Compared to that, do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. What Man City have done with players that were nobodies. Not nobodies, but known, but nobody wanted them.
Hold on. Everyone wanted Mark Gurley. Everyone wanted Semenyo. Everyone wanted Donnarumma. I mean, everyone wanted Haaland. Everyone on the planet wanted Haaland. I wouldn't say no one wants these players.
I would.
Would you actually?
Hold on, Betty. Hold on. No one wanted Haaland.
Yeah, everybody probably wanted him.
Anyone want Semenyo?
Semenyo.
And want Donnarumma, best goalkeeper on the planet. Anyone want Donnarumma?
I feel like Donnarumma was available for like 2 days before they went without him.
I feel like, yeah, exactly. Well, why did City get him before everybody?
Yeah, but you just said people didn't want these players. They did. Of course they did. Everyone wanted Mark Gurley. Look at Liverpool. They were desperate to get him. They missed him. Wrong window.
Did everybody want Cherky? Did everybody want Rodri?
No, it's true. But you said
everybody want everybody want Alvarez?
No, but you said nobody. Nobody wanted these players, and I'm just pointing out the fact that everyone did.
So why did nobody go for Cherky?
You know, I'm not talking everyone. You said nobody wanted these players, and I'm just pointing out the fact that there are some players you have that everyone did want.
Yeah, but they wanted to play for the best club, didn't they?
I mean, do you know what's bad? I know people say about buying superstars, but I mean, Reinders was only 42 mil.
Yeah, no, listen, they buy very well.
Very well. Listen, there's going to be a couple of duds along the way. I understand that.
No, they buy extremely well.
But some of the players they get...
but you can't come on here and say that why are we getting players that no one wanted?
It does surprise me that I'm thinking, where's everyone else? Why are you not getting this? Kushner was like 30 mil.
Yeah, no, listen, you won't get an argument from me. Let's go to James, who's a gooner. Hello, James.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Bunty. How are you doing?
Well, good, man. How are you today?
Yeah, all good. All good, thanks. Yeah, it sounds, by what Colin just said, it sounds like City have been going in the bargain bucket and buying all the cheap players.
Bargain bucket, what a show
the worldies.
Yeah, no one's heard of these players, have they?
No, I can't believe it. But if you're asking me who's in a better position, who you'd rather be at the moment, I'd rather be in Arsenal shoes at the moment, definitely.
Why?
I think that like they've got a chance to win. Got the chance to win the Prem. Got a chance to win the Champions League. I say a chance. I'm definitely not saying it for certain because I'm a bit superstitious. I'm an Arsenal fan.
James, if you could click your fingers and swap squads, would you do it?
I'll be tempted to. Yeah, I'll be tempted. I'll take that because I think they do have a great squad. Definitely.
Why would you rather be Arsenal then? If you'd rather have Man City squad?
Well, because we've got a chance to win the Premier League and
City.
Champions League.
So it's just
not the Champions League.
No, so it's just that.
Do you know what's crazy though about it, James, as well, is that we talk about switching squads, right?
Yeah.
In my head, there's only three people straight away. So defensively they're good, but I'd rather Arsenal's backline, right? In terms of the defenders, right? But straight away when you said swap,
hold on. They've got a better goalkeeper than you.
I don't know about that.
They've got a better left back than you.
Nico Riley.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think we've got two better centre halves.
Their centre halves are fantastic.
And Timber over Nunes.
Okay, well I would say I'd say it's close.
All right, yeah, close. But when you said about swapping squads, the three that I think, oh my goodness, I'd love to have would be Haaland, obviously.
Yeah.
Shirky for the 10 creative.
Yeah.
And Rodri. Ooh.
Instead of Zubimendi?
Yeah. I mean, Rod, come on now. I mean, Zubimendi.
I totally agree with you.
Zubimendi doesn't play because of Rodri.
You'd rather have Donnarumma, right?
No, I like David Raya.
You'd rather have Nico Riley.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly what he's done this season, yeah.
Yeah, you'd rather have any player on the left that City have got.
Who
Semenyo can play over there.
Oh, yeah.
Doku.
Yeah. I'll take them too. we haven't got a left side currently.
Either.
Yeah.
Either would do. Good call. Still to come. We'll be hearing from Chelsea interim boss Callum McFarlane. First, a bit of no Googling. We want to know which two sides outside of the so-called Big Six have been to the most FA Cup finals. No. What are you going to say?
Someone
outside the Big Six.
Just checking. Yeah, but who is the Big Six? Oh, we're going
to you know what the Big Six are.
Villa won't be happy about that.
Well, Villa aren't an answer, so they'll be fine. The answer to that and loads more coming up on Drive on talkSPORT after this. Stay where you are.
talkSPORT's Alex Crook has got some information about Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, I think the vibe coming out of the Northwest for some time now has been that Pep Guardiola is more likely to depart than to stay at the end of the season. Whether winning the Premier League title will influence that decision one way or another remains to be seen, but it does seem like the direction of travel is this is going to be the last few weeks of Pep Guardiola's tenure, despite the fact he's got another year left on his contract. There was always a suspicion, I think, from Chelsea that when Enzo Maresca left the club on New Year's Day, his next port of call would be Manchester City. talkSPORT understands Maresca very much the front runner. Should, as expected, Pep Guardiola step down at the end of his trophy-laden tenure at the end of the season. There has been some suggestions that maybe there's still some contractual issues with Chelsea. We're being told by sources close to Maresca that he is free to take another job as soon as this summer. And I've been told by more than one source that high-level talks between Manchester City, their sporting director Hugo Viana, and Maresca have been taking place. Now, that's not to say City want Guardiola to leave now, but of course they have to prepare for that eventuality. So Guardiola likely, we think, to depart at the end of the season, and Enzo Maresca very much the heir apparent.
And if that is to happen, what has been the impact on on the Premier League by Pep Guardiola?
I think Sir Alex Ferguson's got to be number one, hasn't he? But you would say Premier League era, Pep Guardiola number two. But that's the playing style.
I was going to say,
his
effect on English football has been total, hasn't it?
Because everyone's doing it now.
talkSPORT understands Enzo Maresca is the top candidate to replace Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. We're hearing it's likely Guardiola will leave at the end of the season, despite having another year on his contract. Here's our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook.
I've been told by more than one source that high-level talks between Manchester City, their sporting director Hugo Viana, and Maresca have been taking place. Now, that's not to say City want Guardiola to leave now, but of course they have to prepare for that eventuality.
Manchester City face Southampton in the FA Cup semi-finals tomorrow, live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Chelsea's interim boss Callum McFarlane's been speaking ahead of their clash against Leeds on Sunday. He says he hasn't held a clear-the-air meeting with the squad following Liam Rosenior's sacking, but they're focused on delivering a strong finish to the season. Chelsea legend Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has told talkSPORT now is the time for the players to wear the badge with pride.
When you cross that white line, it's for you and your teammates to come together, play for the shirt, but make yourself proud and your family, and that's what they need to go and do on Sunday. As simple as that.
And Jim Furyk will return to captain the US Ryder Cup team at Adair Manor in Ireland next year. There's more on our website at talksport.com.
Alex, why did it take so long? I was trying to catch him out.
You ruined it out. The Rhythm of the Night. Who sings this?
No, you know.
I don't know this either. I've heard it a million times. Who sings it out?
The Rhythm of the
Culture Club, of course we do, yeah. We've got that. Before the break, I asked the question, which two sides outside the so-called Big Six have been to the most FA Cup finals? 13 finals each. That's unbelievable.
West Ham?
No.
Tottenham. Oh, they're in the Big Six, aren't they?
No.
Newcastle.
He's won.
Leeds.
No.
Forest.
No.
Wait 1 second.
Don't look.
No, but I'm not looking at the question, but I'm looking at the league table.
All right.
Wait a second, please. Everton?
Yes. Everton. Nuts, ain't it? 13. Still to come, we'll have some fun, guaranteed fun, the best of talkSPORT, but now it's time to look ahead to the FA Cup in partnership with our friends at McDonald's.
FA Cup update on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
Right, talkSPORT brings you live commentary of both FA Cup semi-finals this weekend. It all gets going with Man City against Southampton. That's tomorrow at 5:15. Then on Sunday, Everton. They're not in action because Chelsea faced Leeds in their first game since the sacking of Liam Rosenior. Callum McFarlane is the interim manager for the rest of the season. He's been speaking to the media ahead of the game, was asked about Rosenior's sacking.
I spoke to him on the phone on Wednesday, it must have been, I think it was.
How was he?
Yeah, he was good. It was a good conversation. I've got a lot of respect for Liam. I didn't know him before he came to the club, and he welcomed me in brilliantly and made me a part of his staff. So I have a really good relationship with Liam, and I'm gutted that it hasn't worked out.
It's a strange question, that, isn't it?
What?
You don't need to ask that question. Have you spoke to him? What? It's not about. He's gone now. Let's look forward.
Yeah, I know.
They're always looking for a big old headline, aren't they?
I thought he answered it well, though.
He did answer it very well, actually. A lot of noises coming out of Chelsea right now suggest the players stop playing for Liam Rosenior, even mocking some of his techniques in the dressing room. Can the Chelsea fans trust these players to turn up Sunday?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, I'd say the opposite. I'd say, yeah, why'd you say no?
No, they can't, because if these players can just switch it on whenever they feel like it, switch it on, switch it off, how can you trust that? It's a bit snaky, that. Really.
Snaky.
Do you know what I mean? Because,
snaky.
Again, I know we had
But that happens in all walks of life, right? You get a boss you don't trust.
It does, but I mean, for this group of players, I mean, some of them I look at some players in that squad, and I don't get that vibe from them. Like, I look at someone like Reece James, who's Chelsea through and through. I don't see him switching it on and off. If he's there to play, he's going to play.
Yeah.
I look at Caicedo. He's another one. Even Cook around. I know he opened up his mouth. I spoke about different clubs and stuff, but even his performances. But it's you can't trust them. Now you sometimes get a new manager bounce, but then as well you might get some of the players in that dressing room, and it wouldn't surprise me if some of them are giving it. Oh, he's only in charge. He's not going to be here, is he? So, do you know what I mean?
But that's just football, right? That's not a new thing.
It's not a new thing.
I've heard that so many times.
It's not a new thing, but for a group of players, right? And yes, some of them have achieved big things, World Cups and Champions Leagues and that, but a lot of them haven't achieved anything yet. For a club like Chelsea, for them to be acting the way they are, it's not a good look.
No, it's not a good look.
And that's why that's why the Blue Coat ownership group can't then go back into that the transfer market looking for a manager and put in someone with no experience. That group of players need someone that's going to go in and go, listen, you, and you. If you don't start putting the work in, I'll start you out of it. I won't pick you. Simple as that. Not Blue Coat going, well, we've bought him for a lot of money. We think we can make a lot of money in him. So can you play him? You need someone like, I know he's not going to go back there, but you know, like Thomas Tuchel or that ilk to go, listen, you upstairs, I'll give you a list. I'll work with the sporting director. I coach these players.
I'm in charge. I know what I need.
Exactly. Him. I don't want anywhere near the squad. Until their attitude changes, I don't need them. I'll work with this group of players.
Agree with you.
And as a player, when a manager comes in and says that, you go, oh my goodness, I better start putting my weight in.
This is the problem with having people in charge at football that don't know about football. That's why I don't think technical directors work at all.
No, I think, but there are cases like the Unai Emery, it was Monchi, I don't think he's there anymore. They worked in tandem brilliantly.
Yeah. They did like Fergie and David Gill, right?
Exactly.
But
like David Dean and Wenger.
But that's because the chief exec or whoever trusts 100% his manager.
Yeah, but that's why this new Chelsea board. I know they're trying to do this new ownership group, but this is where they need to have a strong look at themselves and go, do you know what? Or the group of whoever's in their board or whatever it is, and go, do you know what? This ain't going to work. This.
No.
I know we want to run it a certain way, but
the problem is, Benny, when you get businessmen who are worth bazillions, very rarely can someone tell them where they're going wrong.
No, but I think they will. I think when they look at,
think they will.
No, but I think they'll look at where Chelsea are right now and what Chelsea have been for such a long time, a powerhouse of world football. You mean winning every trophy you could think of multiple times, which is crazy.
They've got this blueprint, right?
No, they'll change it.
I don't think they can afford to, but they've got no money.
But they're going to have to. They've got no money.
They've spent so much
I know,
money.
But they're going to have to. They're going to have to get a manager in who they're going to have to almost go, do you know what? I know we want to run the changing room and the club a certain way, but if we want to get back to the Chelsea we know, which will be successful for all of us, we need to get someone in with experience.
If they do, let's just say they get a Thomas Tuchel in, not him, because obviously he's from England. And that manager comes in and says, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want that. That these people that are rich billionaires that are always telling other people what they want and never being told, they ain't going to go, okay, yeah, we'll do what you want. They'll go, no. You do it our way. You're going to work with these players. We're going to buy the players because we can.
See, well, then they'll never get that manager.
No, I know that.
But that's my point. At some point, when they realise it's not working and they just throw millions upon millions down the drain and nothing's happening, they're going to have to.
I think if you're like a Xabi Alonso, right, and you've been linked to a club like Chelsea, I think you'd be an absolute mug to go to Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Chelsea fans will say exactly the same.
Yeah, but they're not going to get that type of manager. That's why I'm so intrigued to see, because even they talked about Andoni Iraola, aren't they? He ain't going to settle for that.
Yeah, he'd be mad to go there.
Yeah, but again, do you know what the difficulty you've got, right? Is I don't like the way that Chelsea are running, and because it just doesn't. Even though I'm not a Chelsea fan, although I've got strong ties because of family reasons to Chelsea.
Yeah, Dad owns it. Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like Chelsea. Now, the difficulty you've got is that you're going to go, well, I ain't going to work under that regime, but it's Chelsea Football Club. That opportunity may never come again. So you're like, do I turn it down now and it never comes back again, or do I go in there now and feel like I can change it?
Who's the last Chelsea manager to walk out that club with his head held high? Because it weren't.
Maresca, maybe?
I don't know. He was sacked, right?
I don't know. I don't think he was sacked.
He was sacked.
I mean, but he's walked away with his head held high off the back of 2 trophies.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. He was sacked.
Yeah.
What happened to Poch?
Yeah, he's sacked.
Right?
Because he spoke out.
Okay, we've just seen Liam Rosenior.
Potter
gone.
Tuchel, they got rid of him, which was a mad decision.
He wins the Champions League and they fire him.
Yeah. I genuinely think, I know it's about money and they want to control it, but I think this situation would have told Chelsea, if you want to get back to being successful as you are and not wasting money, you have to change your model. That model works for certain clubs, and again, I'm not being disrespectful because it is one of the best run clubs in world football, and that's Brighton. So their model is incredible but it works.
Yeah, but the aspirations are different.
That's my point. Brighton can do that because yes, their model will change now, because not change, but their kind of brief now would be, I think we can get into Europe. I can get into Europe. Chelsea's brief every single season, without fail, should be win the FA Cup, win the League Cup, win the Premier League, win the Champions League. That should be their brief every season. Yeah. That's not going to be Brighton's.
Well, I want to talk to you about the other semi-final. What will happen here? Chelsea against Leeds.
I think Leeds win, you know.
I think Leeds win as well.
I think Leeds win.
I think Leeds players want it more.
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 2-1, 3-1.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the other one. Oh, you changed your mind.
2-1 Chelsea.
Why? What made you change it?
Because I think when FA Cup semi-final is a big game, bright lights, and they've got players in their squad that have been there and done that big.
What players want it more?
I get that, but some players freeze, get to Wembley, some players freeze.
Okay, yeah. You're going to go Chelsea?
2-1, yeah.
I'll go Leeds. Let's talk about the other one. Man City take on Southampton, also live on talkSPORT. Southampton, of course, smashed Arsenal to reach this stage. They sit 4th in the Championship. Their boss, Tonda Eckhart, has been speaking to the media ahead of this game, and he was asked if he believed what they've achieved this season will be possible when he took over.
I think you always need to believe. The belief in the group of players was always there from the first day. Obviously, you will have some bumps on the road. It's not a whole season just goes in one direction. I think we've shown that we are able to deal with setbacks within games and setbacks over a spell of games. And I think that the team and everyone here at Staplewood has just grown more and more together, and we will definitely need this also for the game on Saturday.
I have to say, Eckhart has done above and beyond. They were 21st when they sacked Will Steele. They're now still in a shout of automatic promotion, and they're going for a shot at the FA Cup final. I mean, that's pretty much what dreams are made of, right? When you take over.
He's been unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable what he's done in that short space of time. And they've got some seriously big games coming up, because I think they've got potentially 4 games left of the season. So Ipswich play them. That's Ipswich's game in hand. That game there. So no, West Brom is Ipswich's game in hand, but they've got Southampton coming up. But for Southampton, it's not a bonus, because once you get so close, you almost feel like, well, oh, no, we want to do it now. But if they are in the playoffs, Southampton, no team wants to play them, because they are in some serious form. No one wins out their last 10. Like the last time they lost a game of football, Southampton, was 17th of January.
That's amazing.
It's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
So, yeah, it's gonna be difficult, but listen, they're not winning this game.
They're not?
No,
I agree with
they're not beating City.
I agree.
Especially when they get to this stage, and with Pep and City with trophies.
Yeah.
He ain't letting this slip.
No. I totally agree with that. All the score, but I get the feeling that City was sort of 4-1, 3-1.
Yeah, I'm going to go 4-0 City.
Okay.
No, I'm not. I'm going to go 4-1 City.
Same as me.
Yeah.
All right. Still to come on Drive. Press a button, drive, music, drive, button. There you go, there it is. We live the sports bar, discuss all the important topics from last night.
It must be Uber down in Devon.
There's no chance, mate.
What?
I don't know what he said. Bent is going to look ahead to a big old weekend in the EFL.
A bird in the bush. A bird in the hand of the bush.
I think that's what he was alluding to. And ahead of the marathon, we'll be asking what's the longest you've ever done something for?
Hey?
Yeah, I'll explain that in more detail in a bit. All that and much more coming up on Drive. Me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, when we come back. The best bits of talkSPORT. Yeah, there are some.
Darren Bent had his Sound Drive show earlier, suggested a left field option.
I would go for someone, if in that type of concept that Jill Scott's talking about,
Yeah.
I would go for like Igor Thiago from Brentford.
He's been above and beyond.
He has been unbelievable.
How many goals has he got?
I think
I think he's second on the Premier League list.
He's got 21.
I think he's second.
Yeah, he's the first Brentford player to go to 21 Premier League goals because Ivan Toney at 20, Visit at 20, and Mbeumo at 20.
Unbelievable.
Do you know what I mean? And Brentford are now on the cusp of Europe. I know they're 9th right now, but if you look at where they are on the table, I mean, they're only, 2 points over 6th.
Igor Thiago, yeah, he's had a great season.
Yes, he has.
He has, and fair play to the lad. He's got himself in the Brazil squad, and he's a good player.
Yep.
Is that what we're talking about, though? A
No,
Brentford player getting a player of the season?
No, I can't agree with Benty, but he has done unbelievably well, and he's a bit of a throwback. I kind of hope a little bit that what we see with Haaland and Gabriel the other day, where there's that centre half against the centre forward, where you're going toe to toe, backing the players, and he's a little bit of a throwback. Those number 9s that we used to see in the Premier League, they don't exist anymore. They're tippy-tappy football. It's the game is all about scoring goals. If you score goals on a consistent basis, you're going to catch the headlines, right? And he's doing both.
The one and only Sam Ryder. Please welcome back Will Traeger. You have 4 billion more listens than there are people on the planet.
On the planet.
Sad I missed coming on the show.
It's your WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp, it's your...
Is this Craig David and Arthur Dodger? Also. Charlton talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent alongside in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks. And great brands from Giacomo. Still to come, I'll be asking what the longest you've ever done something is. What's the longest you've done something for? Oh, what's that? You had a tug of war for an hour? Tug of war for an hour? That is a long time.
Is he going to put a mic on or what?
Oh, sorry, what? That was a slip up. What?
Yeah, say it again now.
Tug of war for an hour you had? What? What's the matter?
6 hours.
6 hours? What are you doing?
Huh?
What are you doing?
Nah.
Leave it on, leave it on. Just quickly, Pep Guardiola said that Rodri is unlikely to face the Saints in the FA Cup. It's live on talkSPORT tomorrow. In the Championship, West Brom have been deducted 2 points for breaching financial rules, meaning they are no longer mathematically safe from relegation. Listen, I do feel that in that division, in all divisions, if you can have points deducted, do it at the beginning of the
I've said that.
You can't do it now.
I know people said, yeah, but if they've cheated, then they should get punished right away. But I'm the same as you.
You can't do it
If you start the season minus 12, you start minus 12.
4 games to go, you might think, well, if we get a draw here.
And do you know what? Where I feel sorry, first of all, I feel sorry for the fans because, of course, they're the ones who always get punished. James Morrison has done an unbelievable job for West Brom since he got that interim job. And now all of a sudden he's like, oh.
But if you've got like I don't know West Brom's last game, right?
I can say no.
But tell me their last game.
The last game of the season, Sheffield Wednesday away.
No, their last game they played.
Oh, they smashed up Watford 3-0.
Okay, what was the game before that?
They beat Preston 2-0.
Game before that.
What's going on?
I'm just looking for a draw.
Oh, Millwall 0-0 before that.
Right. Now was that away?
Home.
Right. Let's just say they thought, if we can nick a point here, we're going to be safe.
Yeah.
So you played tactically. You can't deduct points now.
No,
I think that's nuts. Right, time for the best of talkSPORT. You know the rules. Best of talkSPORT. I mean, it's in the title. If you didn't know by now, you say when we kicked things off with this morning's breakfast show. Shabana was asking Ray Party Pilot if he'd ever heard of these classic books.
Pride and Prejudice.
Don't know.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
No. Pass.
The Great Gatsby.
No.
Jane Eyre.
No.
The Gruffalo.
No. I ain't got a clue.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar.
It's about a caterpillar. Who's pretty hungry.
Nailed it.
What's the best book you've ever read?
What's the best book or last book?
Either. Last book.
The best book I've ever read was an autobiography of Mike Tyson, incredible.
Is that what it was called, Incredible? Or you're saying it was incredible?
No,
I've heard that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The last book I read was the Bible this morning.
Oh, you read it in its entire form, did you?
Yeah, I've read it before.
No, but I'm saying the last book you went, I'll read this book, and then you finished and put it down.
Yes, the Bible.
When did you finish it?
Last year sometime, started again. I just keep going.
Any change?
A few changes to
Give
the
me
story.
something from the Bible that you learned today.
Oh, I mean, come on. I just read it. A lot of the words are so hard to pronounce.
So what are you reading it for then?
Because high power.
Okay, all right, fine. It makes you feel good. That's absolutely fine. If you were to write a book, what would it be about?
Sneakers.
We can say sneezes.
Yeah, no, sneakers.
What would it be called?
The view from the soles of my feet. That is unbelievable. That.
What do you do about your souls?
Okay, I might do that.
Or us together. We could write a book. It could be called Our Soul. Forget that one. Who's the smartest?
How many questions are here, by the way?
Who's the smartest ever teammate?
It was Needham and was very clever.
Yeah, he does look clever.
Yeah, very clever.
Remember, Shaban is back with the breakfast show alongside Tony Cascarino tomorrow morning at 6.
Sticking with the breakfast show, they were joined by legendary marathon runner Paula Radcliffe, who had some tips for those running this weekend.
Remember to enjoy it, and I would say go in knowing there are going to be those rough spots. So have your technique ready. Whatever you're going to go to, it might be just looking at the crowd around you, it might be repeating a mantra, singing a song. Any of those work. What works for you? Just have it ready and trust you're going to come through it. And remember, big smile when you cross that finish line.
Okay.
Are you going to support?
What didn't make best of talkSPORT? If that's fell in. What was the one you went? No, that's not up to that level. Go on, what?
Yeah, something to support producer Joe.
No.
Okay,
no. If I get his bib number, I'll look at him on my phone. I'll go.
I'm not going to watch him actually.
Oh, you won't watch him. You don't go to any event. You keep saying to people, I'm going to watch that, go and watch. You've never been to one event. Name one event you've been to, not to play in, that you've watched, that's to do with talkSPORT.
Oh, not to do with talkSPORT. I've been to events, NFL here, Wembley, basketball.
Okay, fair enough.
What is one thing you would advise marathon runners this weekend not to do?
Fail. Don't start quickly. Take your time.
Chill.
Enjoy it. And take on water and a jelly baby every mile is my advice. Jelly baby every mile.
Which one person from talkSPORT would you love to see take on a marathon?
Harry Howe.
Yeah.
Harry Howe could be good at the marathon.
That Billy should be good.
No,
Nothing on him.
His legs would snap. The Moose. I'd love to see the Moose take on the marathon.
I think he'd do it.
He couldn't even do it in a cab. He'd fail. He'd stop off at a driving.
Remember, if you're still running the marathon at 3 p.m. on Sunday, you can listen to live commentary of Leeds against Chelsea in the FA Cup on the talkSPORT app.
Let's finish with the sports bar from last night. They were discussing whether there's Uber down in Devon.
There's no chance, mate.
Right, it's definitely Uber down in
I'm telling
Devon.
you now, right? Where he lives, you can't phone up and say, "Can you pick me up?" They know one another on first time.
I reckon there's Uber
Right.
down in
And
Devon.
they go, "All right, Dave."
I mean, there's taxis. I mean,
It's
we all.
not. It's not.
What do you mean?
It's not, mate.
You're telling me there's not an Uber down in Devon?
No, there's one guy that does it, the whole of Devon. Devon Dave, they call him.
Do you know what? We're quite spoilt in London, or in and around London, like Deliveroo and all that. That's whenever I'm home, right? Wherever I'm at, Deliveroo. But I've got friends of mine that live in Kent. Doesn't even exist.
Wow.
They can't get deliveries to the door. It's nuts, right?
Yeah, we should just go out and what we used to do back in the day. Get in your car, drive.
Actually do stuff. Do you think you make a good cab driver?
Yeah, I think so. Just you know,
Well,
conversation.
try it now. Turn around. I'll be in the car behind you.
Go on.
No, you've got to turn around, like look over your shoulder to me.
Yeah, okay.
I'll just get in. Clunk.
Hey, mate, you right?
Yep.
Where are you off to?
Going London Bridge.
No problem, mate. Had a good day?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Take on my journey. That will tell me that you don't want to chat.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so...
All right, try it again.
Hey there, mate.
Oh, good, man, yeah.
Where are you off to?
You take me up the Shard.
Okay, no worries, mate. Just round the corner. You sure you want me to drive there?
Yeah, why wouldn't I? I'll stick it up your... It's the attitude you got there. Sure, of course I want you to drive there. I've got in the cab.
Okay, no worries, mate. I'll
No,
get
forget it. Do you know what? Forget it.
All right, get out then.
I knew you were trouble when I saw you.
Yeah.
Where's Goldstein? Is he not on?
Why is that? Right, what's the worst
Your
experience?
attitude.
What's the worst experience you've ever had in a taxi?
I love black cabbies. Never have. Oh, I was threw up in a cab on my 40th birthday.
Right, I'll see that.
You don't know about that one, Ryan?
Yeah. What is the worst accent in the UK?
What's the worst accident?
Accent.
What's the worst accent? Gabby's is pretty bad, isn't it?
What, see them Brum?
Brummy's quite.
Do you like Liverpool?
We're going to Villa soon, aren't we? I love Brummy. What's the worst one? There aren't any. There aren't any. My favourite's Newcastle. I do like that.
Why have I asked you questions? It's your thing.
What's the worst accent in the UK?
I don't quite know, you know. I love the Brummy accent.
Worst experience you've ever had in a taxi?
The worst experience I've ever had in a taxi where the geezer wouldn't stop talking to me.
Didn't you go in a fake taxi?
No, I didn't get no fake taxi.
I'm sure I've seen a clip of you.
No, you've watched the A&E.
Sure that was you.
No, it weren't
You've
me.
not been in a fake cab?
No, I've not been in no fake cab.
Sure that was you. Like you had no money, you couldn't pay for your
No,
fare.
I did not.
You sure? That was definitely were you. And you were like, oh, how can I pay for it?
Hey, give it a rest, dude. What's wrong with them?
I'm sure I see it, no?
Listen, I'm telling you no. What's wrong with you, Andy?
I remember if you want more candy, alongside myself, you can download 21 minutes ago, an episode drop every Monday and Thursday. I definitely want you.
If this is a Monday, you wouldn't do that.
I definitely want you in the cab. I left my wallet home, Governor. That's all right, Ben. He was sorting something out. When we come back, we'll be asking on the back of Bentley's cab ride in a fake cab, what's the longest you've done something for? 03717 223344. Keep it clean, everyone. I do. Keep it clean.
You found the mask?
Yeah, I found the mask.
It's just who we are, mate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I hope you lost it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Mate, do you know, it's enough hot in here. And I can't... So you don't realise what it's like. I've had Arteta on. I'm going to have to take this off, mate. Well, I can't.
No? You what?
Wow, it's hot. I've got to take my top off, mate. I can't keep doing this, mate. I can't keep doing this.
What is going on?
What?
What?
What do you mean?
What is this?
Which what?
Is this talkSPORT merch?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh my God, he's got a shirt. You've now got a shirt on. You're kidding me. What is this shirt? What is this?
I don't know what you're on about, mate. I just knocked this whole thing up.
So for people who are not watching on YouTube right now, Cundy has got a T-shirt with the Ange mask. I've seen signs, encouraging signs. Is this talkSPORT merch? Where are you getting this stuff from? Who is making this stuff for you? It's bang out of order. I'm going to HR. This is not on. Honestly, they're gonna go off the shelves. Then, by the way,
And Spurs.
they are gonna go off the shelves. Who made that?
I did.
You're out of order.
Well, I had 10 minutes spare. I thought, what can I do? No, I think. What do you think of the fit?
It's all right. It's muscle fit.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Welcome back to last hour of the last day of Drive this week. It's me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent here.
What paddle racket do you use, Benty? I use ball paddle.
Is that what you got on today? You got a load of free gubbins, have you? I can't hear you.
Ball paddle. Yeah, great brand ambassador, fantastic.
What brand is it?
I use ball paddle. Yeah, ball paddle.
Why are you saying it twice? What brand do you use?
I use ball paddle. I'll say it again, ball paddle. Because I use ball paddle. I'm giving them so much exposure.
How are you doing it with your voice?
Hey, ball paddle, unbelievable. I use ball paddle. Yeah, ball paddle, unbelievable.
Do you know what I
use ball paddle.
Yeah. Still to come, Benny's going to be looking ahead to a big old weekend in his EFL corner.
I use ball paddle.
I know, shut up. But now the London Marathon takes place on Sunday, and there are plenty of familiar faces that will be running.
Hi everyone, running the London Marathon or supporting somebody running on Sunday. It's so exciting, isn't it? Another London Marathon. I'm going to be running for UK Children's Charity supported by CarFest. If you've never done it before, it's a game changer. You have no idea how great it's going to make you feel.
Hi, Alicia here. I'm running the London Marathon on Sunday for MS Society. Feeling very nervous but excited, and good luck to everyone running.
Joe here from Drive on talkSPORT. I'll be running for the British Heart Foundation this Sunday in the London Marathon. Good luck to everybody else. Enjoy yourselves.
Hello, it's Shaban from talkSPORT, and I just want to say a massive good luck to everybody doing the London Marathon. I'm doing it for the National Autistic Society. Whoever you're doing it for, fair play to you. Enjoy it, and hopefully I'll see you at the finish line with a bottle of wine.
Ed Huntley here. I'm running the London Marathon this Sunday for Well Child. Good luck to everyone else who's running it as well.
Hello, Emma B here, first time marathon runner, rookie runner. To everybody who's running at the weekend, good luck, you're going to smash it. I'm running for the British Heart Foundation. We are legends. You are a legend. Let's have it.
Running. Very exciting. It's the London Marathon weekend. Plenty of our friends from the 17th floor are taking part. Remember that our very own producer Joe is running for a brilliant cause, the British Heart Foundation. To donate anything you can, just head to his Instagram at producer Joe TS.
You've run a couple, right?
I have run 2, yeah.
Is it one of those? Because listen, the thought of me having to run 26 miles.
Yes, just over.
Right, 26 miles makes me feel ill, right?
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it's like when you're running and then you see all the people there watching, the adrenaline, you're running with loads of people. Does that help get you through it?
Yeah, massively, yeah. And it's not just that, it's you're running around parts of London which you've got memories of, either driving down that road or walking down that road, or maybe you haven't even seen that road and it's like a new site. Oh, I didn't know St Paul's Cathedral was there, or I didn't know the monument was there, or you're going through different parts of...
Yeah.
So that's quite exciting. And the support you get, people come out, I mean, it's like 5-10 people deep. And I was lucky both times around, it was really good weather. Sunday looks like it's going to be fantastic weather. It's just... you don't like running long distances, right? No. If you're a fan of running and you can run a half marathon, it's sort of I loved it. And hearing everyone in the build up to it, Emma B did a podcast with me a couple of weeks ago, or I did one with her, talking about the marathon, about how she's preparing, what I did, etc. And that little discussion got me thinking I might do it again.
What, so you've done 2 London marathons?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And so if there was a time I was going to run the New York Marathon.
Yeah.
And the part of the fun of that would be that every single road I turn around, it's all new to me.
Yeah.
And so there's one called London Landmarks I've run a few times, half marathon, and everywhere you go, you're just seeing the big buildings in you're going across London Bridge, or you're seeing St Paul's or whatever. And so it's constant fun. And if you run at a decent, nice, easy pace, then you'll enjoy it.
And what part did it start to really hurt?
What part?
Because I'm surely there's some part you got to dig in.
I didn't really hit the wall on either of them. There's a tunnel. I've said this before. There's a tunnel on about mile 24. It's about half a mile long. You run through that, and because there's no crowds in there,
that's when you have to really.
That's where you see people like leaning up against walls or falling down. Or
how long's the tunnel? What tunnel is it?
It's about half a mile long.
Which tunnel was it? Limehouse Link?
No. It's way past that. I think it's where Upper and Lower Thames Street hit each other. I think it's around there.
Oh, that's when you have to...
Just after you would chuck a left to go over one of the bridges.
Southwark Bridge?
Southwark Bridge, yeah. If you carry on going rather than go over the bridge, you come into this big tunnel.
And it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, I was fine with it, though. But the problem is it sucks the life out of it. There's no support. It's the only place there's no support. So it's you and your head.
Yeah. And how long is it?
Was it Rotherhithe?
Rotherhithe is long.
Is it the Rotherhithe tunnel, is it? I don't think it is that, right?
That tunnel is long. Is it?
I don't think it is that one. But Ryan's saying it is that one. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a long
that tunnel is, I mean, when I used to drive...
That's where you got to dig in.
When I used to have a big Jeep and I used to drive through Rotherhithe Tunnel, I used to have to drive with 2 wheels on the curb because it's that tight. Because take wing mirror's gone.
Yeah.
But that tunnel's long. So I can understand why running through that you're like.
In fact, you know what I did both times because I knew that tunnel was coming up. I had headphones with me. Sometimes I wore them, sometimes I didn't. But I put big music on. I actually put Rocky music on to get me through that tunnel. So you do need a bit of help.
That's a bad tunnel. That Limehouse Link would have been all right compared to that tunnel.
Yeah, well, Limehouse Link would have been up because
that's Canary Wharf way, isn't
it? Yeah.
Okay.
So that got us thinking, right? Because it's going to take a long time for a lot of people to run it. I imagine. Well, I don't know what the best time would ever be, but I'm guessing if anyone runs it under 3 hours, they've done extremely well here at talkSPORT. But that got us thinking: what's the longest you've ever done something for? Okay. So today's producer Ryan Bryan once took a day off school. Get this, and played FIFA 13 from 8 a.m. right through until 4 a.m. the next day.
It's crazy that.
Did you win it? You just kept playing. Just kept. First place. Snooker star, former champion of the world, Neil Robertson, who's still in the World Championship at the moment, has already been in touch. Let's have a listen to his voice note.
1997, when I was a kid, I played the game Blade Runner from the 1980s cult classic with Harrison Ford. And you play the detective in the video game, and there's so many different alternate endings, and the cutscenes were amazing. And I remember playing it for 18 hours straight, while my brother and his friend were desperate to get on the PC and do whatever they wanted to do. So, before the days of where you could just Google to get through a game, you had to figure it all out yourself. So that's probably the longest I've ever done anything for.
That's unbelievable from Neil Robertson. Thank you for that, Neil. We were talking about this in a minute. The longest I think I've done something for is it took me 2 weekends from dusk till dawn, dusk till dawn, then the week, and then Saturday and Sunday again to get a tree stump out of my garden on my own.
Yeah.
Because it was much bigger than I thought. I thought I'd chop that tree down and get the stump out. And it was one where I started to rock it. But it was just so big, it took me 4 weekends.
Yeah.
Excuse me, 2 weekends, 4 days to get it out.
Wow.
That's a long time,
Yeah.
right? Think of anything you've done for a long time?
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, certainly when I was a kid, I played Alex the Kid on the Master System. Now, this is back in the day where kids don't know they're born nowadays, where you can save it and you can pause it and then you go back to it. Alex the Kid, you had 3 lives, man. And once them 3 lives are out, you go back to the start. And I remember playing that from 9 a.m. one day to like 5 p.m.
Yeah. How old were you?
I'd have been... So Master System was... I'd probably been about 8 or 9 maybe.
Okay. Wow, that's young.
Yeah, so I was playing it for that long on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I had obviously I had to pause it and get a little sandwich or something in, drink, and then go back
to the toilet.
Yeah. Ding! I've been playing that.
Is that noise you make in the toilet?
Oh, what's he doing on there? That's a bit weird.
1986 that was.
Yeah. No, wait, 86, I wasn't 2.
It wasn't 2.
No, it was later than that.
That's when he came out of the game.
Yeah, wow, that's a bit weird.
Benny's just seen himself on the telly.
I did this the other day. I did it in the Redwood.
I can see, yeah. Nice to see you made an effort. We close.
It's nice. It's looking well in here.
No, because they're the clothes I said to you the other day. You came in, I thought you could do better.
No. That is. Look at the beard and everything.
Tight, man. That's too tight.
Nah, it's not. That's unbelievable.
Why have we got HD in here? It's terrible. Imagine me. I'm sandwiched between 2 Bentleys.
Yeah. I use ball paddle. But yeah, Alex the Kid. I remember one day as well. I played when I got the Mega Drive, Sega Mega Drive. I played Streets of Rage. Unbelievable game, right? Again, that was about 7-8 hours. But again, 3 lives. No, because that one you can actually save on the Mega Drive.
Yeah.
But once you've wasted your save, you go back to the start. So it was that.
Okay.
But do you remember a game called Actual Soccer?
I do remember that.
It was on the PC.
Yeah, I do remember that.
I played that for about, 10 hours, man. Actual Soccer. And it was awful. That when I think about it now, the graphics look like a kid playing with a biro.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, honestly, for about 10 hours, Actual Soccer.
That is a long time.
Yeah.
Well, how long were you in that fake cab for?
Why do you keep asking me about no fake cab?
What? So, can we take one now, Ryan? Ryan says, yes, the longest you've ever done anything for. Is it Joel? I haven't got my glasses on. It is Joel, Spurs fan. Hello, Joel.
Yeah. Hi there.
How are you?
Yeah, not doing too bad. How are you guys?
Good, man. Good.
Do you use ball paddle?
Pardon?
Do you use ball paddle?
No.
Good.
I use ball paddle.
Well, he doesn't. So, what's the longest you've done something for then?
I think Benty would appreciate this one. It was a full movie marathon, back of the Lord of the Rings films.
Unbelievable. I've done that. Back to back.
Wow. But this was with the director's cuts as well.
Oh, so it's longer.
So I think on average the films were about 4 hours each.
How many of them? 3 of them?
3 of them.
So you did 12 hours of Lord of the Rings.
Pretty much, and pretty much only stopping for food and toilet break.
I think your Lord of the Rings must have been sore after that. How old were you?
We're talking about like 12 years ago, so I probably would have been like 17, 18.
Did you not have a girlfriend?
Not at the time, no.
You don't have any friends, actually. Well,
No, I did it with a friend. I was with a friend when we did it. We hung out together and did it.
Can I ask, had you seen the movie at all before you watched all three?
Yes, multiple times.
Wow.
I've done that. You know, I've done Lord of the Rings on flights because I think if I do this for Lord of the Rings on a flight,
that's the flight done.
The flight done. I mean, someone's put here, Bentley, did you complete Alex the Kid? Some geezer, he's called CCC84. It took him 29 hours to complete it.
What, non-stop?
And Metal Gear Solid, 3 days straight.
That's absolute garbage.
But 29 hours, I believe. Because honestly, literally,
Well, hold on.
3 lives.
You can't pause it.
You can pause it.
But you can't go to bed.
I mean, if you leave it on. But 3 days, honestly, 3 lives, done, back to the start.
And you did it in how long?
It took me about 9 hours, man. 9 hours, something crazy like that.
Okay, I think there'll be some great calls. Listen, it doesn't have to be a computer game. You could have maybe put some shelves up or tiled a floor and it took 15 hours, or even sprayed a patio, right? Because they take a long time.
Everyone's saying Rob Tunnel's not part of the marathon.
That's what I said to Ryan.
Someone said it's Blackfriars Underpass.
Blackfriars, there you go. That's exactly what it is. Blackfriars, a long tunnel. Well done. Thank you for that. The longest you've done something for, 03717223344. This could be good, but only if you pick up the phone, because you'll be next live on Drive and Talk Sport.
I use ball paddle.
Cole Palmer, he hasn't turned up all season. I said this yesterday. If you were naming the England squad today, Eze, Gibbs-White and Morgan Rogers, miles ahead of Cole Palmer. 22 appearances this season in the Premier League, only 9 goals, 1 assist, and his last goal was the 4th of March against Aston Villa. He's not turned up. And when there's a game where a manager needs one of his top players against Brighton, he's in the stands. What did the physio who picked the team under Maresca say? You know, you've got a 10% chance of getting injured, Cole. Take it easy against Brighton. Go and sit in the stand. Like, we come for the players like Cucurella, Enzo Fernandez, Garnacho maybe, but let's look closer to home as well. For me, Cole Palmer this season been a disappointment.
Not just this season, actually. If you look at his form in the second half of last season, this is a decline that's been going on for a long time.
He won the Club World Cup final single-handedly.
He turned up for that.
He turned the Conference League final on its head after half.
What about in the Premier League, the second half of last season?
Well, he played more games than anybody else, and he was certainly Chelsea's best player over the course of the season.
This season, though, he's not been good enough. When you look at
He's been struggling with a groin injury, and if you speak to Thomas Tuchel, he'll tell you that he couldn't run properly for the first half of the season.
When you look at your Maverick players like Cole Palmer, he's earning a lot of money, long-term contract, paid a good fee for him. He's not done enough, and I've been watching him as well in games, and he's throwing his hands up at Joe Pedro for not passing to him, and he thinks he's the main man. If you are the main man, Cole Palmer, show it, and you haven't. Cole Palmer and Phil
You can't
Foden.
sit here and hammer the Chelsea players and absolve Cole Palmer of responsibility. He's been as bad as the rest.
Exactly.
I didn't hammer anyone. I just
Your
asked
body
the
language
question.
looked like that, Sam.
Did it?
You want to defend Cole Palmer. The one and only Sam Ryder! Please
million more listens than there are people on the planet.
On the planet.
Sad I've missed coming on the show.
It's your WhatsApp. It's your WhatsApp. It's your WhatsApp. It's your.
Prince. You like Prince?
Yeah. Legend.
There's no big documentary that's been made about Prince.
Must be coming, though.
Should be, right? It'll be a little documentary, I imagine. It's Drive on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein Darren Bent, in partnership with Giacomo Steiner Brands for every man. Still to come, Bent is going to be looking ahead to a big old weekend in his EFL corner. Just quickly, Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers is open to a move abroad this summer. If you could sign one player in the Prem this season that you think will be leaving that club, so you can't go Holland.
So he was the first person I thought of.
You can't say that. I know who mine would be. Mine would be Elliot Anderson. I absolutely adore that player.
I think they could be leaving.
Yeah, you think you got a chance of stealing him?
That's a great question.
So, like, you got Harry Wilson, right? He's going to go. No. Okay.
A chance for them to potentially could be going.
Yeah. I mean, Newcastle player might leave, right?
Oh, wait, Tonali.
You take him. He's the one.
Yeah, I'll take Tonali.
Would you?
Yeah.
He's the one you want.
Yeah, I'll take him. If you saying in the
yeah, he can't be an obvious one, all right?
No, or Gordon, Anthony Gordon.
All right, not Bruno.
Bruno who?
Giresh.
I mean, he's decent. To me, I look at him. He looks like he just loves Newcastle.
All right, you put Gordon on the left, right?
Yeah.
You need someone like that. Yeah, okay, I get that. I'm sure that's something we'll do.
Would you take Bowen if they go down?
Would I take Jared Bowen? He will. Well, Elliot Anderson's my. I think he's the one United should go for.
Yeah.
Jared Bowen. He improves United without doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, without doubt. Should we get the phone lines? Something you've done that took a long time. Scotty's a Palace fan. All right, Scotty.
Evening, Andy. Evening, Benty.
Nice.
Great speech. Great show, guys.
Thanks, man.
Cheers,
Thanks, Scott.
As always, you bring a lot of laughs to my
that's
life. Mean it. Benty, am I right in saying you used to live in Thornheath?
Correct, yeah. That's where I grew up.
Yeah, same here, mate. Fellow Thornheath resident.
Oh, yeah, I went to Thornheath. I went to West Thornton Primary School.
Oh, wow. I was at Elmwood.
Yeah. Can we get on with it?
Do you know what?
This is your
Do you know
life.
what's funny there, Scott? As we were talking there, I looked at Andy's face. I knew he was going to go, why am I getting left out of it?
Do you know Peter? Yeah, I know Peter. Yeah. Do you know his brother Dave? I know Dave as well. Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
I knew I'd get grief from Andy. Sorry.
Go on in, Scotty. What you got for us?
So 1990, my team Palace got to the cup final, as you know, against Man United.
Yep. How'd you get on in it?
Fergie. What's that?
How'd you get on in the cup final?
Yeah. Honestly, I nearly swore.
Nearly.
Sorry.
That's all right. Go on.
No, we got there in the end, didn't we? We lost you twice and we beat your rivals, so that was good.
Okay.
But back then we had to get a physical ticket. So I queued for 27 hours to get a ticket.
Where were you queuing?
So basically, the tickets went on sale, I think, on the Sunday at 12.
Yeah.
And then one of our mates went down there on a Friday night, and there were people starting to queue at the gates. So, because it was huge fuzz at the time, the FA Cup was massive. We'd never won anything. So we were like, when we were like 18, 19, 20 years of age, we were desperate, to be there. We only got 14,000 allocation. But anyway, so we basically went there Saturday morning about 9 o'clock. When I say queue, it was in the car park. You probably both know the car park at Sainsbury's. And so we basically drove the car. It was like the old Germans with the towels. We put the car in the slot right near the front, so we could move around, but it just grew and grew. The whole car park was. It went all the way down Whitehorse Lane, but 27 hours stayed overnight. Had a right laugh. It's brilliant. 27 hours.
You got your ticket for the cup final in the end?
Yeah, and then we lost.
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't going to ask that. Scott, you're a star. Have a great weekend. Thanks for your kind words, man.
Thank you.
Top man.
Thanks, man. Let's go to Michael, who's a Celtic fan. Hi, Mike.
How you doing, guys?
How are you?
First-time caller.
Mike?
Can you hear me?
Now I can. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. First-time caller.
Oh, nice. Thanks for that, pal. What have you got for us?
We have actually communicated before a few years ago. You probably won't remember. It was through Instagram, but
okay.
What
happened?
For another day.
What happened?
Fake taxi, is
You were slagging, what's his name, the actor, Keanu Reeves, and I messaged you on Instagram saying he's as good an actor as you are a presenter, something like that.
I must have blocked you.
Definitely.
Oh, you didn't actually, no?
Oh, what's your name? I'll do it now. What's your name?
No, I've got a different account.
I'm joking. I'm not going to. Go on then. What you got for me?
Well, I've got two stories. One, I'm hoping I can tell both of them because it's not that naughty. Once I took a week off work, played Championship Manager. I played it from 8, as soon as my ex left, as soon as my girlfriend left the house, on the computer, on it maybe 12 hours a day for 5 days.
Jeez. And she became your ex, did she?
Did a few years later, yeah. She wasn't any the wiser. But
yeah, I've got news for you. She left about a week later, but it's only about 2 years till you found out.
That was probably right, Andy. Yeah. And the second, and I won the Champions League final that ended that week, and it was the best feeling in the world, honestly.
Did you put a suit on for the Champions League final?
I didn't know.
Okay. And what's the other story you got?
I called into my mate's gaff one night and I says, "Can I stay the night?" I won't. Getting his ma's pot, we were putting 600 mushies in it.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
what is going on there?
That's the story you can't tell, right? Yeah. What surprises me a lot about that is you must know you can't tell certain stories.
No. Before police turn up at your door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's why we didn't tell yours with the fake taxi.
Sorry, I know.
There's no point.
So the longest I've done something for is marriage. Been going for 35 years, but according to my wife, I'm still not getting it right. Tony.
I think Tony speaks for most of us. Still to come, we'll be joined by Mickey Gray ahead of Sunderland against Nottingham Forest. It's live on talkSPORT tonight. But that's where I played my Joker. If that goes 1-1, I get 9 points.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a big game. First up, it's time for no Googling. Ahead of the marathon, we want to know what is the fastest time ever for running a marathon backwards. All right? I don't know why you do that. Someone has, and they've got a world record. The answer to that and more coming up on talkSPORT after this.
I've been saying this all season. They don't want to get rid of Arne Slot. Other media outlets are now reporting that he's going to stay, come what may, particularly as they look like they're going to get.
Which is what you've been saying
all along, Cookie. Yeah, but what I was going to say, when you've got this much upheaval, do you really want to add a change of manager into the mix as well? Particularly when you've got a manager who did win the Premier League last year. Well, he's not useless, is he, Arne Slot?
I think he deserves another go at it. But when he comes out and says we need to sell players, I don't think that's right, is it?
That's always been the Liverpool way. These are not owners who...
FSG don't spend loads of money. They don't just lavish loads of cash.
Who in that squad, though, is going to bring in a lot of money? Who's going to bring in a lot of money in that
Jones
squad
will
of
bring you
players?
20 million quid.
Okay, who else?
Alexis McAllister, potentially. Not had a great season. Bit of interest from Real Madrid, I'm hearing.
Alisson, do they cash in on Alisson?
Well, he spoke about him today, actually, and he said that he doesn't respond to rumours.
I think he'll stay.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well,
Mamardashvili's not proved himself to be ready yet.
No, not quite yet. Let's just say that. 03717223344. By the way, Arne Slot staying. He had said it.
He said all along. Yep,
months.
Yep.
Well done. See, that's proper.
On the podcast. What's the podcast?
Premier League All Access. If you just have a look towards your left-hand side, if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, look at that for a plug.
You can see the QR code. Just give it a little scan, and you'll be able to listen to that when we finish here today.
Is that the first plug we've ever had for our own podcast?
That's on there every week.
Is it?
Every
I
week.
don't look at myself on the camera. I look at you guys. I'm engaging. Yeah.
You don't. You look at your phone or your laptop most of the time. That's your.
You know your stuff, Crookie.
You do. Yeah, okay. You look at top journalist.
talkSPORT understands Enzo Maresca is the top candidate to replace Pep Guardiola at Manchester City. We're hearing it's likely Guardiola will leave at the end of the season, despite having another year on his contract. Here's our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook.
I've been told by more than one source that high-level talks between Manchester City, their sporting director Hugo Viana, and Maresca have been taking place. Now, that's not to say City want Guardiola to leave now, but of course they have to prepare for that eventuality.
Manchester City face Southampton in the FA Cup semi-finals tomorrow, live on talkSPORT. Meanwhile, Chelsea's interim boss Callum McFarlane's been speaking ahead of their clash against Leeds on Sunday. He says he hasn't held a clear-the-air meeting with the squad following Liam Rosenior's sacking, but they're focused on delivering a strong finish to the season. Chelsea legend Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has told talkSPORT now is the time for the players to wear the badge with pride.
When you cross that white line, it's for you and your teammates to come together, play for the shirt, but make yourself proud and your family, and that's what they need to go and do on Sunday. As simple as that.
And Jim Furyk will return to captain the US Ryder Cup team at Adair Manor in Ireland next year. There's more on our website at talksport.com.
December Cohen's their latest tune.
Coming right here.
JT, is it Jimmy Tarbuck?
Justify is up there with the best of them. Justify.
It's a great album. I would say up there with the best of them.
Mate, come on. For this genre, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a good,
on that sunny day. Come on, Justin.
Yeah, it's a good album. I would say it's up there with the best of them.
Mate, okay,
it's not like David Bowie or the Beatles or
Michael Jackson Thriller. That's the greatest album ever.
I don't think it is, man. I'm uncomfortable with that.
No, I'm not. Michael Jackson Thriller is
too many double meanings in that album.
What Thriller? Scared.
Is that one of the songs?
Come
on. That's right.
On that sunny
What's bad?
day.
What's bad about? I'm bad. You know it. I'm bad.
I was watching the other night. Moonwalker.
Oh, that was a terrible film.
No, it wasn't.
What, with the animated rabbit?
Yes, unbelievable.
That's that might be one of the worst films ever made.
Nah, mate. Better than Goodfellas to say that. I bet more people's watched Moonwalker than Goodfellas.
I bet they haven't.
I bet they have.
Goodfellas won Oscars.
So did that.
No.
Michael Jackson, great film. Great film.
I don't know why you're obsessed with Michael Jackson.
My hero growing up.
Why?
Yeah. What's wrong with him? Hey, what's wrong with him? You got to admit, he's one of the greatest, though.
No, honestly, I can't get past it.
Past what? Ball paddle.
Thanks, Al. I've never needed a word to get. I've never needed a word to get me out of a scenario.
Ow.
Ball paddle.
I use ball paddle. I'm
Yeah.
going to watch that tomorrow night. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right.
MJ, legend. Ball paddle. All right, Mal, get it.
Yeah. All right, Al, enough. All right. Less is more. All right. Before the break, I asked the question: what's the fastest time ever to run a marathon backwards? What do you reckon it is?
2 weeks.
No, seriously. What do you reckon it is?
Oh, it's just quick.
Well, yeah. My best is 4:27. 4 hours 27. Is this faster or slower than that?
Faster than that.
Yeah, he's faster than that.
4 hours and 1 minute.
No.
3 hours and 90. 3 hours and
3 hours and 90.
No, 19.
No, you're close. 3 hours 25 minutes.
Backwards.
Yeah. Achieved by a French runner whose name I can't pronounce, but he did it in 2023. For us at 7, Hugh will be hosting live.
Andy, I'll finish at 7. I tell you this every week. I'm not doing it.
Wozencroft.
Oh, my bad.
Yes, all right. Hugh Wozencroft hosts live coverage of Sunderland against Forest. Let's look ahead to that game now. As we're joined by Sunderland legend, 6-pack king, 8-pack actually, and your co-commentator for tonight. I've seen him naked. You haven't.
What is going on
His
here?
name's Michael Gray. Hello, Michael.
Hi, lads. Benty, great voice, by the way.
Thank you very much. I've been working on that.
What? Great voice what?
He's Justin Timberlake when he was singing. It was very nice.
Are you going to watch the Michael Jackson movie?
I will at some point, Andy. I know you're not going to.
No.
But me and Benty are still allowed, aren't we?
Yeah, of course you're allowed. Yeah, of course you're allowed. I can't stop you going. They leave large chunks of the movie out.
No, shut up, we are.
No, I'm just no.
Everyone's laughing in the background.
No, I'm
What,
saying,
have you seen it?
I know. I'm saying that he's got so much to cram into his career. You can't obviously cram all that in. So bits are left out. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Elvis hasn't only got one movie, has he? So
It's a
they might
very,
put it in
very good point.
the second one.
Very good point.
Speaking
mate.
of Elvis as well.
I don't think it'll be in the second one, Mick, if I'm being honest. Right, Mick. Some reports this week suggest that Sunderland might get rid of Regis Lebris if they don't finish in a European spot this season. I mean, personally, I've never heard such utter gobbledygook and rubbish in my life. Have you heard anything on this?
Well, it started last week, and I was as surprised as anybody because I thought that he was waiting for a new contract because of the job that he's done at Sunderland. So it was a bit of a surprise. He got asked in his press conference, I think it was yesterday, and I think it was a bit of a surprise to him as well. But you know what rumours are like. If it starts, that's if it is a rumour. It started, but it seems to have got bigger. So I think he's kind of nipped it in the bud pretty quickly. And I'm thankful he's done that because he's done an incredible job since he's been here for the 2 seasons. The promotion out of the Championship and obviously getting the 46 points in the Premier League with 5 games remaining and a chance of even European football at the end of the season. I don't know where that conversation's come from.
It's crazy, Mick. When I think about that, it's absolutely... Because as you said there, I didn't think they'd get out of the Championship. I don't know what my expectations were last season with Sunderland, but he managed to do that, which we all perceive as the hardest league one of the hardest leagues in world football. And then for what he's doing this season, beating Newcastle twice as well, potentially they could finish above Newcastle as well. I think it'd be crazy for them to even contemplate the idea of getting rid of him if they don't finish in the European spots. I think it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm with you, Benty. Absolutely. Look, I think the the target was obviously 40 points. I'm not quite sure if that's going to keep sides in the Premier League this season. We're talking about third from bottom, but that was the target for Sunderland. He's overachieved. He's got 46 at the moment, and I mentioned before, there's 5 games left, and they've got a chance of European football. So these conversations, they just need putting to bed very, very quickly. And you know what it's like, Bent. You've been in Sunderland. I think people have to buy into this football club, and if the supporters get you, they'll get behind you 100%. And there's no doubt they've got behind Regis Sabri, and I see the supporters every other week at the Stadium of Light, and they are loving this little journey, if you like, what they're on at the moment, and they're enjoying every single minute, whether it's at home, whether it's away. There's no empty seats at the Stadium of Light, and that's because of Regis. Yes, the recruitment in the summer was needed. They brought in a lot of players, but the players that have came in, they bought into what needs to happen at Sunderland Football Club, and everybody's on the same page. And this is why I think, it's a bit of a head scratcher. Why would you want to upset that? Bring in a new manager. I mean, what direction do you think Sunderland are going to go in next season? There's going to be players, I hope not, but maybe 3 or 4 of the star players might actually leave in the summer. I don't want to throw the names out there, but if that happens, then the recruitment's got to be as good as it was in the summer that we just had. And a new manager walking through the door with his new format, whichever way he wants to set Sunderland up, what would be the target then? If it's not 40 points, then it has to be European football.
Mick, I've got to let you go just a sec. Before I do, though, let me ask you what you think the score will be tonight. It's live on talkSPORT. Sunderland up against Nottingham Forest. Sorry, I'm going mad.
Well, I'll be very quick and say this. Benty, you got in the team, Sunderland's best team from 96 to 2026. I think I'm alongside you as well. But we score tonight, Andy.
Hold on, you can't just rattle something. What did you say?
Yeah, but you said I had to be quick. I'll send you a photograph of the best team, Sunderland's best team from 96 to 2026. Benty's in it and I'm in it.
On the bench, yeah?
I'm guessing Kev's next to me, Super Kev.
Kev and Jermaine are up front.
Are you in
That's
it?
the
Did you say you're in it?
I'm cemented in
it. What about if the game goes to a penalty shootout?
Oh, honestly. hey, do you know what I mean?
Sorry, Mick.
He can't help
What's the
himself.
score?
Anyway, it's going to be 1-1 tonight. There you go.
Oh, hold on, Mick. If it does go 1-1, me and Bentley do this thing where we choose scores, like 3 matches we choose from the week ahead.
Right.
And we've got a joker to play, and if we get it right, the joker, we get 9 points rather than 1. I've gone for 1-1 as well tonight.
Yeah, I can see that. I think Forest will set up, make it difficult. And I thought Sunderland were going to be on the beach over the last couple of weeks, but they played well at Aston Villa, albeit they lost 4-3. They were excellent against Tottenham in the last home game when they won 1-0. And obviously the Tyne-and-Wear derby as well. So they're not down tooling, put it that way. They want as many points as they can. So it'll be a good game tonight, but I think Forest are in good form.
Keep up the great work as always, Mickey Graham. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks, man. Reminder, that game live on talkSPORT and the Sports Bar Weekend, and take your calls on the final whistle. Right, time now to take a look at the latest EFL action in partnership with McDonald's.
Benty's EFL Corner on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
Yeah, time for Benty's EFL Corner. We look at to a big old week of action in the EFL across talkSPORT and our network. Let's start with relegated Leicester. Oh dear, those Millwall, which is live over on talkSPORT 2 tonight. Millwall will have high hopes of automatic promotion, and they'll go second if they avoid defeat tonight. Millwall, they can go above your team, below your beloved Ipswich, with the draw, and then their final game is against Oxford. They are 22nd. They're still in a great position, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got to back it up. Two wins. I mean, they've had 2 good results on the bounce, Millwall, but you're looking at trying to get that automatic position. It's just after this game, we'll have game in hand. But again, all you could do is put yourself in a position where you've done everything. Now, again, if you're Millwall, you couldn't have dreamed of getting Oxford, who are going to be fighting for their lives. But I think they're gone. Oxford might be gone. No, I think
Oxford 22nd.
Yeah, no, mathematically, I think goal difference plays its part.
Okay.
But if you've got Leicester and Oxford your last 2 games of the season to potentially be automatic, you have to take that.
God, yeah.
You've got to take it.
Yeah, what will score be tonight, 8 p.m, Leicester against Millwall live on talkSPORT 2?
Yeah, Millwall travel well, so I'm going to go Millwall win 2-0.
Okay. Let's move on to West Brom against your team, Ipswich, live over on talkSPORT 2 tomorrow lunchtime. Now, West Brom were mathematically safe, but earlier, I don't know if you've heard this, they were handed a 2-point deduction for breaching financial rules. It leaves them 6 points above the bottom 3. So they're going to need a point to make sure of their safety. Ipswich, your old side, they were set to be playing a team tomorrow who were safe. But today's news changes all of that. That's bad news for you, right?
Not really, because you'd think then maybe West Brom would have got to Ipswich, maybe tried to not have gone to Ipswich, but obviously at home maybe would have played with a little bit more freedom. But now they know they need a point. West Brom, it could make for a more difficult game, but as I said, that was a difficult game against Charlton midweek. Ipswich to come back from 1-0 down. They went 1-0 down after about, I think it was about a minute. It was early.
Yeah.
For them to recover and play as well as they did and win that, it makes for a fascinating game. But as I've said, James Morrison, what he's done for West Brom since he took that interim job, because at one point I thought they were gone. And he's managed to salvage it.
What score we live on talkSPORT 2, 12:30 tomorrow lunchtime, West Brom against Ipswich.
2-1 Ipswich.
Finally, let's talk about commentary against Wrexham. It's Sunday at noon. Now, Wrexham, I'm guessing they're going to be pleased to be playing a commentary side who've already won the title, right?
Do you know what? They will be, but at the same time, it's because it's so tight. I mean, Hull 70, they're 70. They've still got to go for it. And Coventry are champions. They play with a real freedom. They're a good side. It's a dangerous game for Wrexham, this, by the way, because I can see Coventry winning this.
Okay. So they get the trophy tomorrow, Coventry, in front of their own fans?
See, that again, that even makes it even worse, because they're missing high.
Yeah, okay. That was this week's EFL Roundup. All thanks to our wonderful friends at McDonald's.
Benty's EFL Corner on talkSPORT with McDonald's. Got big McDonald's hunger? Order delivery on the McDonald's app today. From 11 a.m, 18 plus. Fees apply to delivery orders. Subject to availability. Price may vary.
When we come back, we'll have the end of show quiz. Billy will be in the studio and he'll be telling us about his weekend. Nothing, because no one cares about him.
The big news is that Liam Rosenior has been sacked by Chelsea after 5 straight Premier League losses in which Chelsea didn't score a single goal. That's their worst record since 1912. Now, Chelsea would have preferred Rosenior to stay and be judged in years rather than weeks, but it simply wasn't possible. And as a consequence, a mid-season change is needed. Even though Rosenior only got the job in January, what I can tell you is that the players have already been informed. They were off today, and Callum McFarland will take charge of the team until the end of the season on an interim basis. And that includes the weekend's FA Cup semi-final against Leeds United at Wembley. And then Chelsea in the summer will do a thorough process to replace Rosenior, but they're going to take their time with that. So Rosenior sacked after that loss to Brighton, arguably Chelsea's worst performance in many, many years. And it is an interim manager in Callum McFarland to take charge until the end of the season.
Ben, firstly, well done on breaking the news. I'm looking at all the other media outlets. We've got it before everyone. So I really appreciate you telling talkSPORT first. Why the big change of heart? Because it wasn't that long ago the owners came out and almost confirmed the fact that they were going to stick with their manager, and they see him in that position for a long, long time. Why all of a sudden is it the change of heart? Is it the performance? Is it the result last night?
It's a results-driven business, and I also think that there was an issue with the dressing room too. Obviously, Chelsea are really keen to show their respect for Liam Rosenior.
Listens than there are people on the planet.
On the planet.
Sad I've missed coming on the show.
It's your WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp, it's your WhatsApp, it's your...
Dirty cash, I want you.
Dirty cash, I need you. Whoa.
Drive on talkSPORT, me, Andy Goldstein, the singer alongside me, goes by the name of Darren Bent. We're in partnership with Giacomo. Get fresh looks and great brands from Giacomo. For us at 7, Hugh will be hosting.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
I tell you, every week, I finish at 7, same time as you. Why do you always think I'm coming on after me?
Wasn't cough.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
Hugh wasn't cough, that's all right. Host live coverage of Sunderland against Nottingham Forest. Team news for that is in. Cameron Pope has all the details. Popey?
Thank you, gentlemen. Two teams who have plenty to fight for, these two. Sunderland are gunning for Europe. They have Omar Alderete fit after his removal on Sunday against Aston Villa. They bring Dan Ballard and Trey Hume into the side at the expense of Luca Nyan and Reynildo, who are benched. Nottingham Forest are 7 unbeaten in all competitions. They also make 2 changes, with Igor Jesus given a start. Jair Cunha is also given a chance. Murillo isn't in the squad, having come off against Burnley last weekend, and Dylan Bakwa drops to the bench after failing to shine. It's a weekend curtain raiser of epic proportions at the Stadium of Light.
Good work, Popey. Right over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear a big old game in the Championship. That's between Leicester and Millwall. Ian Abrahams has all the team news ahead of that one. Moose, happy Friday, good evening.
And a happy Friday to you. A point for Millwall puts them back into the automatic promotion places, but really they need all 3 of them to keep Ipswich completely honest until the end of the season. The Lions can get 6 more, put in on 85. Ipswich, though, with an extra game in hand, can get 9 more starting at West Brom tomorrow. But Millwall can only look after themselves, really. Leicester, as we already know, relegated on Tuesday. One change for Millwall is enforced. Caleb Taylor is injured, so Leonard comes in for him. 4 changes for Gary Rowett in what will be his last home game in charge. He's not going to be here next season. Solarchik for Begovic in goal. Chowdhury, Sousa and Winks come in for Pereira, Lascelles and James. The Winks selection could be interesting after what happened recently between him and the fans at Portsmouth. It's Leicester against Millwall, live on talkSPORT from the King Power.
Good work as always, Moose. Thank you for that. Guess who's in the studio, everyone? Yes, one more Billy, who's had a very, very interesting day. Tell everyone what you've been doing. No one cares, mate. No one cares about you, Bill. Just get used to it.
You okay?
I told you not to ad-lib.
Sorry.
Told you not to ad-lib.
What are we doing, Bill?
You boys were discussing the longest things you've ever done.
Yes, we were, yeah. What's the longest thing you've ever done?
Can't say.
20 seconds?
Well, so no guess the intro, no list, nothing.
I haven't got time.
Oh, look at him producing. Go on then.
Producing what?
So the quiz is about long things.
Oh, brilliant.
All right, that'd be good.
The longest things ever, in fact.
Right,
Okay.
Get with it.
All right.
Andy, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'd love to, yeah.
No, I'm going first. I'm answering regardless.
Andy, how long?
No, I'm going first.
Longest ever tongue?
I'm going to go for...
Oh, do you know what? Mine was about 5 minutes when I was at school. Oh, you mean the length of it? Oh, right, sorry. Longest ever tongue.
Do you want some options or do you want to...
I don't think that's any of your business what I want. 12 inches. Why are you laughing? What's funny about that?
3.9 inches.
Oh, tongue, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Benty.
Hey, right, trust me, bro. You man are going to get fired.
Do you know, I genuinely thought... Because you didn't say on a human, did you?
I didn't, actually.
So I was going lizard.
Next question, please.
I was going lizard.
Benty, what's the longest thing in the world?
That's a great question. What's the longest
Wait, it must be a road.
I know what it is.
It's got to be a road, right?
No, I know what it is.
Give me the options.
You go
no
options.
What
I know
listen,
what it is.
Bill,
No,
it's my
I know what it
question.
is.
Could he shut up?
We hasn't got any options.
I didn't write any options.
Well, I'm going to say the road.
The road.
Well, roads.
No, it's a
Yeah,
wall.
I'm going to have River Nile.
It's a wall. Great Wall of
River
China.
Nile's a good answer.
Great Wall of China.
Yeah, it's the Great Wall of China.
I use ball paddle. How is that longer than a road? Because all roads connected. So surely roads are the longest thing in the world.
Yeah, but road changes names, isn't it?
It's still the same road. It's still connected.
The Great Wall of China is 13,000 miles.
No, it's roads.
Road.
Right,
All right,
road.
fair enough, it's
well
roads.
done. Yeah, well done, road.
Andy, what's the longest anyone's ever walked non-stop?
What in duration or distance?
Duration, yeah.
Forrest Gump run for a while, didn't he?
Wasn't it the Proclaimers? They walked about 10,000 miles, didn't they? I'll go them. By the way, he's a little fat. There's only one of them. He just carried a big mirror. You know that?
I didn't know that.
The Proclaimer.
You're going.
George, I think his name is George. George Proclaimer.
You're going Proclaimers.
Proclaimer. There's only one of them.
All right. No, that's not the answer.
Oh, okay.
6 days and 10 hours.
How far do I would walk 6 days. That don't work right.
Non-stop for 418 miles. This was in.
I just told you Proclaimers in 10,000.
This was in 1886, though, sir.
All right.
Benty, which of these things is longer? Longest ever nose, longest ever big toe, Longest ever ear hair.
Ear hair.
The nose.
Yeah.
7.5 inches. Big.
Oh, is that fair?
That's not that big. All right. Might be to you.
Do you want one more?
Yeah, one more.
Okay, honestly, you go.
How big's the longest ever sausage?
See, honestly, there we go. Right, there we go. Right, right. Let's hear that question.
Do you know
go
what?
on, Bill, read that again, please.
I know. I think it's something like 9 miles. I think it's something absolutely insane.
What's the question, please?
Longest ever sausage.
I'm going to go back over 9 miles. I'm going to go.
Over Benty?
I'm going under.
You're going under 9. It's 38.9 miles.
There you go.
In Romania.
That's one big sausage, everyone. Talking of sausages, Billy, get out. Me and Benty. There's too many jokes. Too many jokes.
I'll be back. You probably won't after that.
After what?
Fired.
Billy coming here with his big sausage.
See?
That sounds wrong.
That's what I'm saying. See?
Have a great weekend. We see you Monday at 4 for more of the same. Be safe, everyone. Sausages.
I use ball paddle.
It's expensive as well, living in Paris, by the sounds of it, Emmanuel. It's expensive being Emanuel Petit, by the sounds of it, as well.
No, so happy to be Emanuel Petit, you know.
Oh, quite right.
If I was not Emanuel Petit, I wish I could be Emanuel Petit. Honestly.